Hey everyone, Brian from Three Geeky Dads here. Before we begin tonight's episode, I just want everyone to know that we are now sponsored by Audible. As an IT professional for a school department, I find myself behind the wheel of my car traveling between schools almost all day long, and that's where Audible comes in. Right now, I'm enjoying listening to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, read by Stephen Fry. It's so enjoyable to hear this hilarious audiobook read by a proper British comic actor. And that's just scratching the surface. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word content, with everything from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, and news to podcasts. Yes, if you're into podcasts, and you're listening to us right now, so we can assume you do, Audible has got you covered. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial. You'll get 1 credit, 2 credits if you're already an Amazon Prime member. That's good for any premium selection titles you like, and they're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed. Again, that's www.audibletrial.com/3GD. $14.95 a month after your 30-day trial. Cancel at any time. Audible. Stay informed, connected, and inspired. And now, on with the show.
Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, Brian.
Why did the dyslexic wizard flunk out of school?
I have no idea why.
He couldn't spell.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
It looks like a pink nightmare. Christmas has a Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log, but it's...
All that I have, all that I've learned, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the lightning.
We named the dog Indiana. I am your father.
I don't know why I'm laughing. I can't spell either, so I shouldn't make fun of anybody. Hello and welcome to another fantastic episode of, I had to think for a minute, Three Geeky Dads, the show with a writer that was too busy to write a proper intro, so you're getting a one without the net tonight. I am Mark, and joining me, as always, are the ice to my baby,
Derek.
And Brian.
There you go. And as always, joining us, sorry, I'm laughing at my own joke because I'm an idiot. Oh, it's been that kind of week. Joining us as the I am number 4 of the group. I've got nothing witty today. Today it's just Tito.
Hey.
You don't even have to. Hi, Tito.
Ahoy,
It's
hoy.
like just ahoy, hoy.
Ahoy, hoy.
Ahoy,
It's
hoy.
like just Jack, we've got just Tito.
Just Tito.
The hammer
My
to our
one-man
MCs.
show.
Mm-hmm.
My one-man show. Just Tito.
You should see his face, folks. He's thrilled to be here.
Looks
No,
a
yeah.
little like
Yeah.
you look a little like Jacques Cousteau right now.
Yeah, you do.
Ooh.
Look like
With
a
the
diver.
hat.
Yeah, a little bit.
The
Teach
four
us-
to our
teach
four
us-
freshmen.
Teach us the ways of the ocean.
I hate the ocean. So
The
like,
li-
the
the life-
irony of it all.
The Life
I don't
Aquatic
like
with
the,
Tito.
Yeah,
I hate the ocean.
I
so
don't
the-
like the
the
ocean
irony
either.
of looking like Jacques Cousteau is weird.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
I'm
I
with
don't-
you,
I
buddy.
don't go in there either. Nope.
we don't belong there.
Look how
We
white I
don't
am.
belong.
I don't go near the beach at all.
Yeah. You look like Gemma Arterton in
That's it.
Clash of the Titans.
The beacons are lit. Gondor calls for aid.
Hey, speaking of Clash of the Titans,
Good segue, Tito.
yeah, that happens to be what we're talking about here on Three Geeky Dads as we continue our month of Fantasy February or February Fantasy or fucking whatever. We
Do you
were
even
gonna
listen to the show?
Yeah, I don't know anymore. I listened to it today.
I think you coined the term Fantasy February.
Fantasy February. I don't know. It's
You like
5 years, man.
came
5
from
years
your
of
head.
this. Everything
was
kind
your
of
creation.
And the name Three Geeky Dads.
Brian gave me some whiskey to get through tonight's movie, which we watched before.
Take a little bit of the edge off.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
It sure did. Well, we were gonna do a childhood favorite of mine called Flight of Dragons, but it bored the hell out of everybody. Sorry, guys. So we decided to, at the last minute, do a versus episode because we had not done one in a while, and people really love that. So we are doing Clash of the Titans versus Clash of the Titans, or someone had a better title than I did.
Clashes
Is it
of
Clashes of the Titans
Clashes
or
of the
Clash
Titans.
of the Titans?
That's right, where it's Harry Hamlin versus Sam Worthington. We are putting the two to the test, which is better. We got our usual categories. I cannot wait. But before we get into that goodness, we have an appetizer to start us off. Thank you. Brian Ridiculous Ramsey over here, starting us off with a ridiculous appetizer. Go ahead, Brian.
Hey, didn't you already get soup?
No, I didn't get it.
Why? What happened?
I made a mistake. All right, well, we'll see what happens to you.
Yeah, no, listen, George, I am quite certain I'm walking out of there with a bowl of soup.
So tonight, as Mark mentioned, we are taking a look at Clash of the Titans. Actually, we're taking a look at two versions of this movie, the original from 1981 and its 2010 remake, in a cinematic showdown of Clash of the Titans. Both movies are chock full of strange and mysterious mythological beasts for our heroes to fight before the final showdown against the Kraken. After watching both films, we got to thinking that it might be fun to talk about some of our other favorite mythical creatures.
Who's going? Why don't I start?
Yeah, you start, Mark.
We settled on that one already.
I'm going to need time to think.
All right. Well, kids, as you may or may not know from the years of listening to me, I am a huge fan of the werewolf, which is a mythological creature for sure. Most notably, the skinwalker over the wolfman. So that is one of my favorites. But if I had to go top, I would have to go with Bigfoot.
Nice.
Or yeah, it's a toss-up, man. Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster.
I was going to say, I was really surprised you didn't pick Nessie.
Loch Ness. Nah, I was going to say Bigfoot because there are awesome Bigfoot movies out there. More awesome Bigfoot movies than Loch Ness movies. But
I don't know.
I do love the Loch Ness Monster.
I caught part of a doozy over at your house last
did.
weekend.
We watched Beyond Loch Ness with Brian Krause. Charmed in Sleepwalker's own Brian Krause in Beyond Loch Ness.
Oh, the blonde guy.
Yeah, it's not worth seeing.
When you said Charmed, it kind of tied it all together for me.
Yep.
Because otherwise, I don't know what the fuck that is.
So it's a tough call, but once Brian reminded me, I have to say the Loch Ness Monster.
Over Bigfoot
Over
and
Bigfoot.
Werewolves.
Not over werewolves. I don't know. Werewolves are a different category to me.
Suppose you had Bigfoot riding the Loch Ness Monster.
I have drawn that. I'm not kidding.
I've actually seen that photo.
I drew that. I drew Bigfoot riding a chupacabra, too. No easy feat because they're tiny.
I feel like they're bigger. Yeah.
It's a tiny Bigfoot?
Bigger than a chupacabra.
Well, that was what was funny about it, Tito. You had to see it, though, visually.
Was it just like nestled in between his thighs, but like his Bigfoot's feet were touching the ground? Because that seems funny.
No, I think it was
like if you're trying to write it, but you're so high that it's just
like people who see a mouse and they're
tucked
like,
in his crotch.
Yeah.
Oh, like right up his chest. Oh, that is funny.
It was humorous at the time.
Trying to visualize it is.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah, mine's better though.
You got it?
It's just too. That's Photoshop.
Is he surfing on it?
He's surfing.
Oh, he's kind of riding it.
It's the two famous hoax videos.
Yeah,
together.
they put them together.
Yeah,
hoax videos.
Those
That's
are
what
mashup.
you're talking about.
A monster mashup.
Ooh, if you will.
Yeah, this was tough. There was a lot to choose from. So I just went by what I look for on YouTube sightings the most. Like, what do I want to see sightings of? And it's a toss-up between Bigfoot and Loch Ness.
Nice.
Okay.
Tito?
That's it.
Yeah, I got this one just in the holster in case anyone ever asks me. Legit, it's a griffin. Is one of my favorite
griffin.
mythological
Nice.
creatures.
Good choice.
Body of a lion, the head and the wings of an eagle. I just always thought it was a very cool creature, fun. Maybe you could ride one. And then Gargoyles was one of my favorite shows growing up. And there's actually a character, Griff, in it, who was like an English gargoyle. And the ones in England are more animal-like. And it kind of tails into this, like, Arthur legend. He goes to Avalon, and then he ends up serving Arthur.
That's a good season.
I always loved that character, and I always loved this mythological creature, the Griffin.
Awesome.
I just like the name Griffin. It's just a fucking cool ass
It's a
name.
good choice.
Yep.
And it's a cool looking creature. I agree.
Mine's very similar to yours, Tito. And again, I'm
a
going.
piffin.
It's a piffin.
No.
And I had an epiphany that I would pick that one. No. Mine's the Manticore, which also has the body of a lion, but it's got the tail of a scorpion, and sometimes, depending on who's depicting it, has the face of a human.
Yeah.
And I just love the name, like you with the griffin. I've always loved the name Manticore. I remember seeing it for the first time, I think, drawn. It was a Piers Anthony novel, one of his Xanth stories, and he had many of them. And one of them had a Manticore on the cover, and I thought it was one of the coolest freaking things.
Nice.
That is cool.
Which complements a really cool series of stories, too, by him. But that's something totally else.
But that's another story.
Uh-huh.
Turn around, sir.
I too like gargoyles, but I'm gonna go Greek, and I'm gonna go with Cerberus.
Nice.
The three-headed hound.
That's a good one.
Of hell.
That is a good one.
Yeah. Well, that's my. There's not really much to say about it. That's what it is.
It's just awesome.
Yep.
Three-headed dog.
It's a dog with a lot of
Yeah.
heads.
Exactly.
One of my runners
Hercules fights him. And
one of my runners up is the Minotaur
Yeah.
from Greek mythology. I've always loved the story of the Minotaur.
It's a Minotaur.
I might go back up Chimera.
Yeah.
It was like the tail of a snake and the body of a lion and something else with a bird.
Yeah.
had
In Eagle's
wings,
Head,
yeah.
I think.
Eagles head.
Yep.
Yeah. It's also the virus from Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah.
That's right. Chimera.
Runners up, I would say a Wendigo for show, and
Dragons.
Medusa.
Medusa.
I'm surprised you did not pick the Gorgon.
Yeah, no, I didn't pick
all
the
honesty,
Gorgon.
'cause the
the
Gorgon
Gorgon
is-
scares the shit out of me. No, I'm not
Is
gonna.
another favorite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the
Yeah.
Gorgon scare you in tonight's movie?
No, not so
No,
much.
she's
No,
kinda hot in
but when I,
tonight's movie. We'll
yeah,
get
she
there,
was a pretty Gorgon.
She was a pretty Gorgon.
Yeah,
Not too
she
bad.
really was.
Yeah, she was a Porgon.
Oh.
Foregone conclusion that we were going to have sex.
It was a gorgeous gun.
Almost seems impossible.
All right.
That's it. Well, we'll
right.
leave you with that. We're done. Good appetizers, everybody. Any more runners up before we get to the main course?
Just dragons.
Dragons.
No, man, you can't go. You can't go wrong with a dragon.
Can't go
Say,
wrong.
Brian, I
It's
got a
true.
great movie for you. If you
I
wanna
know. I know. I didn't hate that movie.
Dragonheart.
I didn't fall asleep that much on it. I dozed maybe once or twice. But
I don't
only
know.
for a few
I looked
seconds.
and I saw all three sleeping at one point. I'm like, oh, I really dropped the ball. With
Yeah, but I sleep every time.
You do.
I fall asleep every time.
No matter what. Yeah.
Every time's the right time
Although-
for me.
I'm sorry,
Mark,
guys.
wake the
I don't think
Cheeto
you
up.
slept
We're
at
almost
all.
there.
When we watched Fury Road, you stayed up for that
I fucking
whole
love
thing.
that movie.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
didn't fall
No,
asleep
he's
for
not
Oh,
Willow
you
either.
can't fall asleep
Yeah.
to
No.
that one, though.
I
There's
didn't fall
mo-
asleep
yeah,
to Willow
totally.
either.
Yeah.
I can't.
Oh, well. Good appetizers. All right, on to the main course.
The main
Failed.
course.
And you bored me. And the worst part is, I'm still fucking hungry.
You're still hungry?
Yes, I am.
How hungry?
Starved.
What are you hungry for?
What do you have?
Everything.
You know what I'd really like?
Tell me.
A cheeseburger.
We can do a cheeseburger.
A real cheeseburger. Not some fancy deconstructed avant bullshit. A real cheeseburger.
Well, I'll make you a very good, very traditional cheeseburger.
I don't think you can.
I'll make you feel as if you're eating the first cheeseburger you ever ate.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week on a special Fantasy February edition of our 3GD Versus series, an episode we're lovingly referring to as the Clash of the Titans, or Clashes of the Titanses. We have one for the ages, specifically the ages of man. First, hailing from the greatest year in the 80s to be born, direct from the House of Harryhausen, starring in no particular order, Dame Maggie Smith, L.A. Law's Harry Hamlin, Arnold Schwarzenegger's best friend, Pat Roach, Van Helsing from Monster Squad's Jack Gillen, current day It Girl, Sydney Sweeney's 80s doppelganger, Judy Bowker, 1981 Saturn Best Supporting Actor Award winner, Burgess Nick Cobblepot Merritt, Honey Rider, and of course, Sir Lawrence fucking Olivier, and directed by Desmond Davis and written by Toby Smith's stepdad, Beverly. I'm a Man Cross. 1981's Clash of the Titans. And its opponent from the year the Toy Story franchise should have ended, From the always disappointing Warner Brothers Pictures, starring Lady Grantham, Fast and the Furious' Owen Shaw, Creepy Danny Houston, Sandor the Hound Clegane, The Lost World's Game Hunter, not Fraser Beast, Nicholas Holt, TV's Hannibal Lecter and Bond villain Lashif Mads Mikkelsen, Guy Ritchie's pal Jason Fleming, Uber Hottie Alexa Davalos, The Onion Knight Liam Cunningham, the face of Avon's Bond Girl 007 fragrance Gemma Atherton, Voldemort, and Sam Worthington, and Liam fucking Neeson, 2010's Clash of the Titans. This bout will be a multiple round category, bout to the death. Now, in the immortal words of MXC's Captain Tennille, get it on!
Right you are, Derek.
That's Sam Worthington. I'd like to pick up his little skirt.
Well, you see plenty of that in this movie.
Do you think Sam Worthington's a good actor? Well, you're wrong.
Wrong you are, Ken.
Question, how many of you think Sam Worthington's going to go far? Well, you're wrong.
Let's get to the category.
Let's do it.
All right, let's starting number 1. Better cast, 1981 or 2010? Who wants to go first?
Mark, you start us off.
I'll probably only do this for a couple of categories. Then it's just going to fade away.
Oh, man, I'm enjoying it.
The energy level is just going to drop.
Yes. I'll be asleep by the time this is over.
Man, I'm going 1981's Clash of the Titans. I'm a huge Burgess Meredith fan. I like Harry Hamlin. I think he's fine as Perseus. Got the whole LA Law thing, ahead of him. He's got that wonderful head of hair. Sam Worthington just looks like he's fresh off of Salvation. Got the military cut. Doesn't really look like he belongs with everybody else.
He looks like a tennis ball in a miniskirt.
He does. You're right. He does. You're right. I like Ursula Andress and I like
accurate.
Maggie Smith.
Yeah.
So I dug the and Lawrence fucking Olivier. Man.
Yeah.
You can't. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Favorite actor of mine in the classic realm. So I got to go with that one.
All right.
I haven't seen enough of the other films that the 81 cast has made. Like, I've seen some things here and there, and obviously, like, some of them are still around, like Maggie Smith. But I prefer the 2010 cast. I think it's, like, just rewatching it now, I'm reminded of just how many people are in it. Like, I totally forgot about.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And there's actors that you are in other franchises that you really like, too.
Yes.
So I could totally see that.
Yeah.
You like James Bond, right?
I do, and there was a lot of Bond connections in this movie. Yes, thank you, Tito.
My pleasure.
Pleasure. They took my treasure and I feel displeasure.
What about you, Brian?
I'm like Derek. I was surprised by how many notable actors were in the remake that I had totally forgotten about. I've only seen the 2010 remake once, but like Mark, I'm going to side with the 1981 version because you've got Ursula Andress, you've got Laurence Olivier, you've got Maggie Smith. It's just a great cast, and it's the version I grew up with, so I'm going to be very biased towards that one. I'm sorry.
Andress doesn't really do much.
No,
She doesn't, but she doesn't have to. She stands in the background, just looks
Just looking
absolutely
pretty.
gorgeous.
Totally.
Yeah. I love Maggie Smith. I love Burgess Meredith. I hadn't seen the 2010 one in so long. I think I saw it like once and then like scattered random pieces here and there. But rewatching it, there's just like a laundry list of like people who are going to be so awesome in this movie.
Yeah.
That I got to go with that cast. Because it's just like person after person where I'm like, oh, you're going to become this guy. Like
Right.
they're all going to have like really good
Like
careers.
it hit
Yeah.
like
and
right
like
at the beginning of a lot
5 years
of them.
or so, which
Yeah.
is funny because Sam Worthington is like, that's like his peak, right? That's his peak when he hits that point.
Yeah.
But everybody else in that movie, I mean, besides Ray Fiennes and fucking Take
Liam
It Easy,
Neeson.
Liam
bingo, are already kind of, at the top of their games, I should say,
Yeah.
or something to that effect. There's just so many good young actors in this movie that I'm just like, oh, it made me more excited as I was watching the film. So I'm gonna go with 2010.
All right, it's two
Yeah.
for two
We're
right
tie
there.
on that
We're all
one.
tied up right now.
The old farts like the old movie and the
Yeah,
younger crowd. It
and the
makes
youngins.
Totally.
Yeah,
Makes
I
sense.
mean,
Yeah.
I was only one when the 81 one came out, so
No.
You were around the same, a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
You were 27, 28?
Wasn't 27.
37? 37?
I think I was 13.
30
In a row?
13 in a row.
13 times 2? No, I'm just. You look great for 60, Brian.
Thank you.
67. No, you look
I
phenomenal.
was born in 67, Tito.
I don't even know what that means.
That was 100 years ago. No.
Good thing you
Not
dressed for
1967, just 67.
Good thing you dressed for the ocean, Tito. Brian's going to
You
drown you
toss
after
me
the
right out
show.
of here, strangle me to death. No, Brian looks phenomenal. Come
You
on.
do. Yeah, he's the sexy sex machine.
Handsome guy, too. Very handsome. I combined these two together. Better Hero / Perseus. 81 or 2010. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. Again, Harry Hamlin. Sam Worthington was a whiny bitch throughout this whole movie. I don't want the god sword. Fuck off. You needed it. You should have taken it. Never refuse anything from a god. I mean...
If we learned anything from Ghostbusters...
Yeah. Well, say you're a god. Yeah.
Which he was denying. He's a demigod.
Yeah. And look how that worked out for him. Some lives could have been saved had he had tried to, or in fact, just killed the many of the enemies with that sword instead of trying to kill it with a regular sword, which didn't work, leading to the death of many men and so on. Where Harry Hamlin accepts his role, does his thing, takes the gifts, saves the day. To little to no one. Not a fan of whining, unless I'm doing it.
All the people who die are nameless anyways.
Yeah,
So
you gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet, buddy.
Okay.
Well,
they were wearing masks. You didn't even have to see their faces either.
Well,
when they
everyone,
died
all of them
in
died.
81.
It was
All
their
of
jobs.
them
They were
died.
soldiers.
Who
It was
lived?
their job to
Zach
fight and
Galifianakis look-alike lived. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
everybody in
not
81
fair.
died too, and they didn't
That's
have.
true.
There was zero
That's
character behind any of them.
But that's more the bad guy.
They were just wearing
Then
faceless
There
helmets.
was like
Then
one
Sam Worthington
soldier that
cried.
had lines. And
Thalos. Is that his name? Thalos?
He was the
so,
guard
He
that
ends
met
up
him at the
getting
gates,
killed.
right?
Yeah,
That
he
was
ends up
swatting
getting
flies
killed
with
by,
the...
yeah. Oh, I wish I could live in a time like that.
Well, when you
or
have
a
to
place where
swat flies
with like
constantly,
a fucking horse's tail. Yeah,
wanna
I would
work
love
at
to
the-
just be like, whap, whap.
you want to be at the DMV waiting on
Yeah, like
swatting
fucking
flies.
Eddie Murphy
like,
in Trading Places where he gets on the train. Fucking swatting shit. I don't know. There's something very regal about that. I don't know why. There's something very regal about just like fucking.
yeah, pestilence.
I ripped the hair out of a horse's ass and I made this thing that swats flies away.
Yeah.
I know what
I
I'm
saw a
getting
horse
Tito
do it,
for
and I'm like,
Christmas.
I want that.
Yeah, right. I took this thing from an animal that's very precious and very useful and ruined it by making this thing that I swat flies with.
You took it from an animal that attracts flies.
Yeah.
And
And now that
Yeah,
poor
don't-
horse cannot
yeah,
defend
everybody-
himself
Right.
from all the flies.
Yeah, right. That's it. That's torture. That's fucking torture.
that's a horse. I don't care. But that's mine.
My friend over here, Derek.
I don't usually like Worthington, but I think he's better than Hamlin as Perseus. I don't find Hamlin to be very heroic or like tough seeming, and Worthington is more of he feels like an actual hero. Like he could take someone in a fight. I don't think Hamlin could.
Well, you've clearly never seen L.A. Law. He does no fighting
Take
in
him
that
in a
either.
courtroom.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
He used the law as his weapon.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
That's true.
It's like Jack McCoy. What are you gonna do, right?
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with the fact that he denied the sword.
So you don't have to.
It was a good story arc for him. Like
good.
It's
wah. It's Luke Skywalker wah.
Yeah, I don't mind that he didn't want the sword.
No.
That sword's kind of.
Shut up. Accept your gift. No, not you, Tito. I mean, shut up,
No,
Sam
I know.
Worthington.
You're talking to Sam Worthington.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Oh,
know.
I thought you were talking to me,
No, neither of you.
talking
I was talking to Perseus.
Talking to Sammy.
Brian.
Perseus 2.0.
I'm going with Harry Hamlin as well.
I'm seeing a pattern here, Brian.
I've already said I could just like tap out and just like I think I'm just gonna pick 1981 all the way down. No, I think Harry Hamlin is a more charismatic actor than Sam Worthington. I think you Derek don't think he's very manly or can hold himself in a fight.
No.
But he does rise to the challenge. He fights Calibus. He fights the Scorpions. He ends up.
Cerberus.
That's right. In Medusa, he does.
He does take on the Kraken.
and come out on top in every fight. So, yeah, I'm going with Hamlin, and he doesn't shrink away from his destiny like Worthington.
Yeah. Tired of that garbage.
Mhm.
Tired of it.
Well, that movie didn't have that whole
cabbage.
storyline. That's the problem.
It didn't need it.
It didn't need it.
So I'm
I don't
gonna.
know.
I'm team 82 on this one.
Is it 82 or 81? I've been
Well,
saying 81.
the years of our birth.
Yeah.
Oh,
team
okay.
82.
Oh, all right.
I was here
Oh, you were 81.
Yeah, that's why I made the
Oh.
comment in the beginning
I thought
about
you
the
were
best year
82.
to be born.
Oh, I disagreed, but I didn't want to say that out loud. I thought you were 82. That's all right. I thought we're relatively the same age. My issue with Harry Hamlin as a hero or as Perseus is his mom raises him on this beautiful island of just awesome shit where like he doesn't have a care in the world. He winds up in a town and he's like, "Oh, what's this? Town's cool. I'll be part of that." "Oh, you're going to give me a bunch of stuff? Cool. Awesome." This guy just gets given a lot of things.
Yeah.
Which is what any
And
guy would do.
I think it's easy. It's easy to like accept, and I don't want to say be a hero, but he is because he is a hero in this film. It's either to like face it head on when the expectation, I think, from his character, and he plays it with like this air of like it's like bordering on arrogance. His confidence in the film is like he knows. Oh no, I'm gonna just marry Andromeda. Nobody else wants to do it. I'll just do it.
Well, when you have the gods telling you
he's-
it's going to happen, though.
He's seen one beautiful woman outside of his mom, and he's just like, "No, I'll marry her." Like, see the world, buddy. Take it easy. You know?
It just saves him a lot of heartbreak.
Sam Worthington, his mom was killed by his family, his real family, was killed by the gods. He grew up as a fisherman. He has nothing but them.
Right.
They die, and he's just like, you know what? Fuck these guys. I want to kill them. I want to kill them all. I don't need their weapons. I want to find a way to kill them without them. And I just think he's driven in a different way that Harry Hamlin's Perseus isn't driven. It's just like
That's true.
It's got a little bit more edge to it, which I like. I like that
a little
aspect of it.
Well, and Hamlin is a little, or I should say, very naive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's brought to Joppa by Hera. You know, in his sleep, he's asleep on the island, like you said. Wakes up in Joppa, meets
Aemon?
I forget his
Aemon.
name. Is it
Aemon.
Aemon?
Yeah.
A-M-M-O-N.
Yeah.
Amun.
Yep. And like you said, is given
He
Mickey.
gets his own
He meets
Mickey.
Mickey, and is given all the weapons, and he just accepts it, you know. And he's naive because the first thing he does is put the helmet on and he runs away because it turns him invisible. Look, I'm a little kid. Woo-hoo! I'm gonna go make mischief.
I'm gonna go watch chicks sleep.
And none of us would do that. No, we would all do that.
We would. Sorry, America. I would.
I'm
I
not
would.
saving
I would.
anybody.
I
I'm
would.
gonna go look at chicks.
I would never tell anybody, but I probably would.
I've seen Porky's.
Everybody knows you would.
I think I'm more. I don't know if the Harry Hamlin's hero is very on brand with that kind of era of hero.
Yeah.
And Sam Worthington's. It's tough comparing these two films, I think, because I guess if you're thinking about the movie in the time it's made, then it's maybe a little fairer, but like Sam Worthington's Perseus comes at a time of like the edgier, darker hero, which I'm drawn to more.
I
than
get it.
am
He's got more edge to him.
I like Batman more than I like Superman, so
Same.
I'm drawn a little bit more to that character. So we got two to two.
Yeah.
We're two to
We're two to
two here.
Old versus young.
Yep.
This is gonna go straight down the line.
Sure is.
I got some 81s in me.
I
I'm
do
just
have some
saying.
81s.
Do you
You
really?
want another sweater over there, Methuselah?
All right. So the next category is a better origin story. I'm going to give just a quick little description of their origins. 2010's Perseus, found in a casket with his mother and raised by Spiros and Marmora. They're killed by Hades. 1981's raised by mother on an island and sent to Joppa to spite Zeus by... It's Maggie Smith's character.
Yeah, isn't it Hera?
No, I think she's like
No,
Thetis.
she's Aphrodite, isn't it?
No,
No,
her name is-
that's
it's Thetis, I think, or I put it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Thetis.
Aphrodite is in it. She's
Yeah.
gives him one of the weapons that he gets.
Isn't Aphrodite the one that makes the owl for him?
No, that's Athena that makes the
Oh,
owl for
Athena.
him.
Yeah.
She is Thetis.
Yeah, 'cause
Thetis is
Athena's
Maggie
the
Smith.
goddess of wisdom.
Because her son
No,
is
wise.
Calibus is her son, so
Right.
despite Zeus, she
Yeah.
sends
Yeah.
him to Joppa to kind of I guess stick it to Zeus.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Better origin story, gentlemen. Who wants to go first? Mark, why don't you go first?
Okay, I might have to go the 2010 on this one. There's more drama to it. Much as I love the original film, it just kind of happens. dump the baby in the water. It's classic.
The
it's
baby with the bath
simple.
water?
The baby, this exactly. This did have more, again, more of a darker edge to it, like you were saying, Tito, and just more drama overall. It was a good opening, and I would have to go with that one.
I agree, and I prefer. I like that Danae is the wife of Acrisius in the 2010 version versus being his daughter, because I don't feel like he would have banished his daughter and grandchild. It makes more sense that he would banish his wife. I like that. With the 81, it's really the whole kind of the catalyst that starts it is just, Maggie Smith and Laurence Olivier's gods just not liking each other.
They're at
trying
odds.
they're at odds because of their kids, really. And whereas this one, there's a lot more to feed the flame.
Story-wise, yeah. But I will say the performances in 81 are good enough to just get it going the way it is.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
I agree.
still fun to watch.
Yeah, they're amazing.
It's not like it's not a bad opening by any stretch. It just the story is it's got a little more spark to it.
We'll get to the story. The story is a different category.
Oh, the story is a different category. Okay. Oh, I don't know.
What do you got?
Brian?
81.
This was just the origin.
Yeah.
Oh, the origin.
His origin. Yeah.
Well, that's what I meant. The story of the origin.
I like the origin in 81. Like I said when we were watching this one, it took 25 minutes to get to the part that 1981 did in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You get his origin out right away. It's not told with 10 minutes of exposition either by the goddess of, speechy, talky. Yeah. And it's done in a straightforward manner, and it's so easy to follow. It's not overdone. It's not bloated. It's just a nice, straightforward story. I like that 1981 version better.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I'm a little on the fence because there's one more breast in 81's origin
There is.
than there is in 2010's origin. Just
Yeah.
the one.
Just the one.
Yeah,
One
but
more
it's
than
there.
2010.
Yep. And Andromeda gets naked at the end of
Andromeda gets naked,
at the end of the 1981 version too,
That
which she
is-
doesn't in this one.
That is true.
Not even when she gets wet in her white tunic.
Excuse
you can't
you.
see anything. What?
Not that kind
Not
of
that kind of wet, Tito.
My God, Tito.
That's right. We can throw that chair out.
I like the 2010 version though. I enjoy the idea. Yeah,
It's a tough one.
you know what? I'm going 81. I'm gonna tell you
Hey,
why. I'm gonna tell you why I'm going 81.
You're surprising.
Because he doesn't
One,
want to
because
agree
of the
with me.
boob,
I knew you were going to go there.
and two, because of the non-consensual Zeus having sex with the lady.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that, the second time I was like, oh, I don't like that. That bugged me a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going 81.
Yeah, that is cringeworthy.
That's is that irony?
It's
that I
implied
picked
in
it
the
because
first
of the
one.
breast,
It is
then I picked the
implied,
other one
yes. I
because
know.
not because of the rape.
There's a dichotomy
There's a
between
balance.
you
yeah.
and you.
Level
Yeah.
level.
There's
backwards
Tito
is
with the halo
level.
and
See, it's
Tito
not,
with the
it's not
devil
shown
horns.
in the 1981 version. It's all the
all in
goddesses
Yeah.
like gossiping about what he did.
Yeah.
What he did. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how you get the story
Well,
of how
dude,
I've
And in
only ever
mythology-
seen this movie on TBS,
And-
and
Yeah.
I saw that boob, and I was like, "What?
Yeah.
I've been alive for 40 years. I didn't know that seed was in there."
Yeah.
You got CGI
Yeah.
Liam Neeson ass too.
Thanks for nothing,
a
TBS.
second.
But you got to remember, in mythology, Zeus was like notorious for that. He
Oh,
had
yeah.
lots
Yeah.
of
No, it's
a
awful.
lot of the gods did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you get
know,
Hercules. That's
and
how
it was
you
because
get.
they took
Yeah.
the form of other things. And
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
it didn't sit well with 2023
All
Tito.
right.
That's all I'm saying.
Is that another tie?
That's a tie.
Holy Christ, they're neck
That's a
and
tie.
neck.
All right, we're going better effects. 2010, 1981. So I'll give you some deets. 2010 Cinesite. They did Wakanda Forever, Harry Potter, some of the Harry Potter franchise, Endgame, Moving Picture Company, 28 Days Later, Troy, AVP, Batman Begins, and Frame Store, which did Sleepy Hollow, Blade 2, and Underworld. And then you got the fucking legend Ray Harryhausen, Jason and the Argonauts, 1 Million BC, Mighty Joe Young, The Voyage of Sinbad.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like?
I'm going Ray Harryhausen. The stop motion, I'm a sucker for it. And even rewatching Clash of the Titans, I never get tired of watching all that spectacle take place because, again, and I've said this many times, people are behind it. You don't 100% know how they did everything. You can spot some of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the creatures, a lot of the effects, the Pegasus, the wing, I mean, everything. Just stop motion, man-made, every, attention paid to every detail.
Yeah.
You just can't top it. You don't know how it's done. How do you just put a team together that can do that? Whereas, again, in the new one, some good stuff, but I know how it was all done. Click.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't throw me the same way.
Agreed.
There's plenty. I mean, I think they're doing better than most when it comes to visual and practical, because like the Stygian witches that's makeup.
Yeah, but it was
the ferryman is makeup.
Is there a separate category for design as well? Because
No, I guess I would.
that's
throw that all in the
that's the
same,
other
yeah.
thing too. Everything in this movie looked the same color, same drab,
Yeah.
kind of grayish. Where everything in the original, the Kraken was this bright
Green.
The witches were made up just enough. They weren't. They didn't look like friggin' not Dementors, berserkers from friggin' Nightbreed.
Yeah.
They looked like women that were just blind and
Yeah.
slightly haggard. And I think it's
One of
Listen.
them was played by Frida Jackson from The Brides of Dracula. Hammers.
Really? Oh, I didn't
Brides
even
of
know
Dracula.
that.
Oh, from
Yeah.
the 81 one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's the Pennywise thing all over again. I feel like with a lot of these movies, they feel they have to add more tentacles, more how do you say his name? I want to say not Calibok. That's from the
Calibus.
Calibus.
Calibus is another example.
Yeah.
I mean,
he looked like something out of a horror movie.
He did, and it just looked like they tried way too hard and added on too much. It's old Pennywise versus new Pennywise for me. So don't make faces. You'll get your chance to go. And I think you can do more with less. And
So we're
that's
going
what
81?
we're going 81.
Harryhausen. I gotcha.
Right.
Clearly, 2010 is more believable. Like, I mean, it's current technology. But for its time, I think 81's effects were, they're some of Harryhausen's best work. The Pegasus scenes, like Mark said, they were a little long and drawn out, but they're like some of my favorite works of his.
But it was new.
No, I know. But
You know what's funny? Because
they want to showcase that.
I feel like that's kind of a signature thing for him.
Right.
Where it's like, we're doing this thing. I'm going to give you as much of it as I can.
A lot of work goes into
I felt like
that.
that in watching A Million BC. Like some of the fights went on. And I was like, geez, this is a fucking long ass fight.
Special shout out to
weird
Raquel
Tyrannosaurus
Welch, who
Rex.
died today.
Oh, that's right.
R.I.P. Yeah, I saw that.
R.I.P. Raquel Welch.
Well, the Pegasus part, like there was a lot. It felt like the scene with him, like after he attained him and was just flying.
Oh, I loved it.
It was
the music that goes along with it.
I know, but
Great
it just seemed long to me. That's all.
Okay.
It was like a drawn out scene. It's like how you didn't like how the scenes of Conan walking.
All right,
it
fair enough.
was like that. It was just,
The Wheel of Pain.
yeah.
Flight of
And I love the Medusa. I think that that scene,
Harryhausen's Medusa?
and the battle with Calibus. Although I disagree. I think that the makeup, the look of Calibus in this one, the Jason Fleming role, is awesome. I like that because I like that it looks like it's not just he didn't just curse him to be deformed. He got struck by a bolt of lightning in holding a metal sword. And it looks like his skin split and burned, and like there was like a horn that was created from
like melted
a blast
bone.
of bone. Yeah, So I
don't know. I feel like they
that.
poochied
Yeah,
it.
think about that.
When they're trying to come up with a new character for Itchy and Scratchy. Put sunglasses on it. Put a backwards hat on it. I feel like that's what they did.
Oh, I love when
with
they do
this
stuff like
creature.
that.
Yeah, it's like let's get as much shit on there as possible.
that speaks to me.
Get 'em with skateboard, yeah. You're
But
talking,
no.
you're shitting on my generation, buddy.
But
I am.
as much as I
and
do
I will
enjoy,
continue to.
as much as I enjoy the effects of 2010, I'm going with 81. It's like I said,
Wow.
Harryhausen's best work.
Yeah, I'm going with Harryhausen, of course. Like you guys, it's probably some of his best work, and he's done a lot of good stuff. From Jason and the Argonauts to any of the Sinbad movies, all the way up to this one.
That was me. Sorry, I dropped my gallstone.
You just shit out of Harryhausen?
There goes Calibus.
Shit out my Calibus.
It was fantastic, and nothing against CGI, but there's like Mark said, there's a lot to be said for practical effects and all the work that went into it.
I like what Derek was saying. I actually think there's a pretty good balance of the two in this movie. I thought Calibus looked awesome.
Yeah.
I really did. I really like the way the Djinn looked too. I thought they looked really cool. But I'm gonna give it to Harryhausen also only because like he's essentially invented a style where the 2010 they're just evolving.
Yeah.
What's kind of already there. The technology gets better, so they're able to clean it up better. They have more money, so they can make it look a little bit
You
better.
stood on the shoulders of greatness, and you packaged it. You didn't work for it.
You put Clash of the Titans on a lunchbox.
Yeah, basically. But
Now you're
you know,
selling it.
Harryhausen is a brand. He's his own
Yeah.
fucking brand. He created. He kind of is
Yeah.
stop motion.
Exactly.
So yeah, I got.
And it was just so like seamless when there were interactions like the Pegasus thing when he was interacting with the horse, and you saw like the human component and the Harryhausen stuff. Like it was seamless.
Yeah.
And it was it blew me away watching it. I was like, wow, for this age,
81.
Like,
Yeah, that
like,
shit's amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. All right, clean sweep, Harryhausen.
All right.
As it should be.
As it should.
As it should be.
You see, the young ones are
You were lucky
able
Derek
to bend
had,
a little bit.
Had a
and-
shiv ready just in case.
I'll give you a little, a couple of tidbits about this next category. Better Olympus, 2010. We're talking about the feel, the look of it. You've got Zeus, Hades, Ray Fiennes, Apollo, Luke Evans, Hermes, Alexander Siddig, Dr. Bashir. To name a few. In 81, you got Zeus, Poseidon, Jack Willem, Van Helsing from Monster Squad, Thetis, Maggie Smith, Athena, Hera, Aphrodite, Hephaestus is in there, Pat Roach. More female gods, or at least they have more goddesses. At least they have more screen time or lines at the very least. But
Hades wasn't even in it. At least he
Oh,
wasn't
in the-
named
no, no,
in
in
the
81.
81.
No, 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 no,
And
no.
Poseidon, who wasn't in 2010, just kept leaving.
Yeah. Well, he was in the
He was
water.
in 2010.
I mean, huh? Poseidon was in 2010?
Danny Houston played him.
yeah, Danny Houston
Oh,
plays
okay.
Poseidon.
But
yeah.
he didn't next
he
to
has like
nothing.
two lines.
He exactly.
Yeah, it was like two
he
lines.
Yeah.
like turns to him and says, "Oh, our brother is right."
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yep.
All right, What do
Okay.
you want to do, my friend?
Oh man, I'm not sure.
As
This
a
is
whole.
tough. You see, if we're going
Let's talk it out.
cast, we're going the 1981. But I really liked that scene when they're all on Olympus and they're on the floor and you could see the
clouds over the-
and then the land before.
Yeah, and the
before
gods are on
them.
like the pedestals.
I was
Yeah,
very
it's
impressed by
fucking
that. So
badass.
I may have to give 2010 just because of that. That was a really inventive and one of the few colorful scenes in this movie. So I think I should point it out. It's like, oh, pretty, something pretty.
Well, life's not pretty, Mark. You know,
It is in the 1981 version. There's more
It
pretty
wasn't in
things.
ancient Greece.
Well, it was in that movie. Shut up and
It
go.
was if you were a god.
It was if you were a god. That's true. Yeah. You had bling.
You had some bling. It's true.
I got to go with 2010 because I mean it's just the bling in general. It's shiny. It's what I would expect for gods, and like Zeus's shining armor. Although it does look like a certain director got a hold of the camera. I like the gods, the look of the gods in this one way better than 81 because in 81 it really they look like regular Greeks, and they're supposed to be these gods, so there should have been something like a wow factor, and they just
Togas.
I just feel like 81
Well,
was the mark.
that was my thing. They were dressed appropriately, whereas in 2010 they were dressed like they were Knights of the Round Table.
Well,
No, this is
It was a little out of
costuming.
place.
This is a whole other thing.
No, I know, but it's the look of the gods. It was
Yeah.
a choice.
The look
and,
of the
and
gods, I
that
would-
brought me out of it.
Yeah,
but
I
like
would say
Olympus
1980.
itself was just bland. It was like just one big room in the original.
See what they
They
had
had like the
look
laser
of-
beams, which was cool.
Yes.
Like the
Yes.
elementary school picture laser beam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Always behind
the
Zeus.
overhead
Kidding?
projector thing.
I always
And-
got clouds. My mom never let me get the
Yeah.
laser beam. I always had clouds in the background. It wasn't great.
Brian.
No, I'm going
of
with
course.
1981.
Yeah, all right.
I like the practical set. I liked Zeus's action figure collection. I thought that was I really like that because that's how he keeps tabs on everybody. It's hinted at, hinted at in the 2010 version when
the
things
wall, the wall of them,
the wall collapses and you see them all coming down.
He doesn't play with them,
and he doesn't even play with. That's what I'm saying. It's just hinted at.
That's true.
And this is the way that
they're
he keeps
worth
tabs.
money if you don't play with them.
That's
you don't want to play with them.
So he, and he's got that like, arena in front of him where he can sit them down and he can, manipulate his little figures and they're, what he does to the figures in Olympus is what happens in real life to the actual people. Like, what's her name? Thetis does with Perseus by taking his figure down and saying, now you're in Joppa, and boom, he's in Joppa.
It's cool when he turns Calibus into that monster.
Yes, and it's all done in shadow.
The shadow comes out.
And you see his hands go
transforms.
like to his head like he's in pain, but then his fingers become the horns. And when he stands back up, he's got the tail. It's a really cool effect.
Horns, not head wounds. That's always
he's very demonic looking.
You're a head wound.
Yeah.
I am a head wound.
But I'm going for the reasons that you guys brought up about 2010. I'm going with 81 because it was too colorful, too shiny. J.J. Abrams directed it. It was so many lens flares.
That's what
was
did
distracting. You couldn't see the set for me. I'm like, everything was glinting off of Zeus's armor, which he shouldn't have been wearing.
Brian's over there going,
yeah.
My old eyes.
So shiny.
my cataracts. What are all these dots?
Turn the lights down.
Glaucoma Theater presents.
Turn the lights down.
Damn my subterranean eyes.
Damn, you made a really good case. I like 2010. So what I like about the armor is when they pan out, it stops doing that.
Because they forgot.
It has this like meta kind of thing to it. Like as the audience, as you're getting closer, it's forcing the audience to see that.
It involves the audience.
Them on the pedestal, them over the earth, Hades walking through. I thought was really cool. They don't show the figures enough, but if you look on the pedestals on certain gods, some of their figures that are connected to them are like by their feet.
I didn't notice that. Yeah.
Because it was too shiny.
Because it was too shiny.
I was distracted.
No, that's not a joke. That's true. I didn't notice it either.
Yeah.
I think it was like probably their kids, the
like
demigods.
their kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just them on top of the earth with like the clouds and stuff. I just absolutely love. But I might. I don't know. I like the gods a little bit better. I might go 81. I like where Brian.
Well, this is Olympus or the gods. These are like two
collectively.
Yeah,
collectively.
I think you can't have one without the other.
I would go 81. But if we're going about how Olympus just looked structure-wise, I would go 2010.
But that's too easy.
Yeah.
Let's force you to.
Well, I have to add to my answer because
that's all right.
it was unclear. Make it clearer next time.
In my argument, I think they're interchangeable, and you can't have one without the other.
Okay.
Nobody else would be in Olympus anyway.
That's true.
It's all
That's
gods.
a good point. I would be.
Suck it.
I would totally get there. I'll be in Olympus. I'm gonna have a toy Tito running around.
81.
Whee!
That's it. No, I'm gonna be sleeping on the couch.
Little Tito figure staring at the wall.
I'm going 81. I'm going 81.
Oh
wow.
Man.
Yeah, Brian won me over. I liked his argument.
He does that. He's
better
good.
Zeus. Better Zeus.
Laurence Olivier.
Yeah.
You guys.
Nope. Lawrence Olivier had more gravitas.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Totally. Liam Neeson was It was an Irish.
Yeah, exactly.
Catch me, Lucky Charms.
Send them all to Perseus.
Yeah. Gee, we don't know. Derek, what's your pick?
I like Liam. I think that Laurence Olivier his Zeus is just he's too quiet. He's too like
reserved.
He looks almost prissy. And
he's a god. He's allowed.
Like he looks like he belongs on the Senate floor debating politics in Athens.
In a toga.
No, and Liam Neeson is more. He just looks more like a fierce Zeus. I've always
looks like a fancy disco ball.
No, he doesn't.
He totally does.
I'm including when he goes down to Earth a few times.
Well, then he looks like Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, he does.
I can't get past Qui-Gon.
He doesn't.
That's what I was thinking too.
I watched this movie not too long ago with my wife, and she said, she asked me if I was watching Star Wars. And then she called Liam Neeson Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
And I said, no, that's not the character he plays.
Not right at all.
Qui-Gon Jinn. And she was like, what?
Qui-Gon Booze.
And this is not Star Wars.
Yeah, it wasn't Star Wars.
Mind blown.
I
Shout
always
out. Happy Valentine's Day, honey.
I always view.
Sorry,
I forgot yesterday. I'm sorry, I forgot yesterday. So I should tell her now. She'll
Did
hear.
you really?
No, of course not.
Oh my God.
God, Tito.
I'm sorry.
No,
Her birthday's on Valentine's Day?
No.
Oh.
We celebrate love on Valentine's Day.
There you
I
go.
don't know if, Go ahead, Derek.
No, I was
Excuse
just gonna. I was just gonna say that when I think of Zeus, I think huge, like massive, like the big beard and strong looking. Like I love the
Hercules,
like
cartoon.
the Hercules cartoon. Yeah, like what?
I knew you were gonna go there. The way you're describing it, all I could picture was that too.
Well,
That's what I was
Coburn.
thinking.
There's
Yeah,
been
I was-
other depictions, not
No,
just that.
who was
of-
it?
of-
James Coburn? Who the hell?
No, it was
did
Rip
his
Torn.
voice?
Dick pictures.
Rip Torn.
But yeah, that's my pick.
Rip Torn played Zeus and what?
In Hercules.
He did the voice of
The animated
Hercules in
one.
the animated
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie all the way
I
through.
love it.
I think
I
I
like
missed
it
the
a
boat
lot.
on that
I
one.
love that movie.
I'm going.
We didn't pick Brian's.
Oh yeah,
Skip
Olivier.
Brian's.
Yeah, I said Olivier.
He said
Yeah.
Olivier.
I didn't know if he
Yeah,
had
you
more.
both
Well,
said
I
it.
don't know if he had more to add.
No, because he's got the gravitas. I don't buy
Gravitas.
I don't buy Liam Neeson as Zeus. He looks like he's either still stuck in Excalibur, one of his first movies, in the shining armor, or he's Qui-Gon Jinn in the desert.
Oh, there was a lot of shiny armor in Excalibur.
Yeah.
Shiny, happy
Yep.
armor.
So no, I'm going with Olivier.
So I'm also gonna go Olivier because he has more screen time, and I think he's doing a lot with the screen time that he's getting. And I do feel like there's this power from him, but I think it has also a lot to do with like the characters around him. Although I think Maggie Smith has given him like a run for his money. Most of the other gods are just kind of there and kind of taking it. Where I think in the 2010 the Hades Zeus dynamic it seems a little more equal. Like no one seems equal to him in the original. But then again, I don't know, Poseidon is there, but even Poseidon's kind of his bitch. But they're brothers. They're kind of on the same.
He looks at
the
the
81.
Kraken.
He's like a douche boss. Like all the
Yeah,
other
that's-
gods are like, I hate working for him.
Yeah.
That
Well, I
kind of
like
thing.
that because
Is that how they
what I
That's
like
how they fucking sound, Mark. Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
how they
it's,
sound.
for me, it's more on brand because they are so petty.
That's how the
Greek
gods
are petty
Yeah.
fucking human beings.
They're basically children.
Yeah, and you get
They're
more
not
of that.
always right.
I think
They
in
made
81.
Hanson. Don't forget, they've made some pretty horrible.
They made
things.
Hanson.
They
They
made
made
Hanson.
I feel like you get more of that in 81 because of like, how he treats Calibus. And then her response to that.
Yeah,
and
well,
how
well,
she
if you're gonna
fucks
fuck with my son, then I'm
Yeah.
gonna fuck with your
it's
son.
so petty, and you get some of that, but there's almost I don't know. I kind of root for Hades a little bit in the 2010, just because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, this is a prick. He
Yeah.
screwed his brother over. So I don't know. I kind of want him to lose, even though he doesn't. Where Lawrence of Olivier is just like kind of showering his son with gifts and trying to like do all this great stuff for
He's
him.
looking after his kid.
He is.
And I just think, I
He's
think
trying to be a good dad.
What a dad.
I think he's going hard in this movie.
I just want to point out to everybody right now that if I had said Lawrence of Olivier,
I know.
that you guys would jump down my fucking
I almost
throat.
did.
Did I say
but-
Lawrence of
yeah,
Olivier?
You did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Oh, I
sorry.
didn't even
Yeah.
notice it.
I picked it up, but
I didn't even notice.
Lawrence
it.
Olivier?
I was going to let you finish your
Lawrence
thought before
Olivier.
jumping down your throat.
Lawrence
No, please do.
Olivier.
Please do. I don't mind. I'm gonna be asleep soon anyway.
I didn't bring the movie this time, so
Lawrence Olivier.
someone else is picking.
Lawrence Olivier. His name is Lawrence Olivier, right?
Lawrence
Lawrence of
Olivier.
Olivier.
Not Lawrence of
Not
Olivier.
Lawrence of Olivier, but
Lawrence
that's what I
Olivier.
said. Okay.
Stop.
No. I believe you
doing
guys.
it.
I believe that I did it.
You did do it.
So I don't think I texted you guys this one yesterday. It kind of hit me today. But it's a very straightforward topic. Better love interest, 2010 Io or 1981 Andromeda. Who wants to go first? Oh man, I shut the fucking podcast
Yeah,
down. with
you
that
totally
one.
did. I mean, I have no idea.
All right, then I'm going to go with Andromeda.
Because it's from the 81.
Because it was more believable. He fell in love with her. He pursued her. Where in this one, it's almost like there was almost no connection between him and her.
She watched him his entire life. She was watching over him.
Yeah, I know.
So she definitely has a connection with him. No, honestly, Andromeda is my pick too.
She
I'm
was
just-
watching him, not the other way around.
Yeah, and when she was acting as like a trainer and like guiding him and explaining to him everything, like they built a connection. I agree with you. It's Andromeda, but I think that the reasoning that you're giving for Io is kind of a little bit off.
All right. With Perseus in 1981, he was more like smitten. He just couldn't, like, it almost seemed like she was like his mom. And that's what I was getting in 2010.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
I didn't like. She was like guiding him, like no, do this. There was no spark.
Yeah,
you know,
until like towards the end, then they like
until
the very end when she died.
When she was training him, like for me, I think it started on the boat.
Yeah,
when she was training him about Medusa. Like you kind of saw like sparks, and honestly, I felt the same way. I'm like, it's a little odd because she's very motherly.
She is very motherly.
Yeah. So,
and that's the whole vibe I got through the whole thing.
Like that was the big difference between the two movies. Whereas like I think they were like, oh, we got to put another girl in this.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep Andromeda here. We're cutting out that whole story about like, the reason, because in 81, the reason why he goes on the quest is for Andromeda.
Right. Which I like because he had to save the one who he was in love with. Right. Where this one, he's like, I'm saving somebody else in an entire city,
but I'm doing it because I hate
sort
the
of
gods.
in love with you or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Or is she the one that's in love with him more? You know, it almost seemed like she had more feelings.
I think it's
for him.
I think you're right. That's I think the way that because she's been watching him and she probably has fallen for him. And she even says that she's because of her curse of agelessness, she's watched many loved ones die.
Exactly.
So it's like
she's a Highlander.
He's just another loved one.
Yeah.
And maybe she probably even thinks like, all right, well, he's a demigod.
Yeah.
So maybe I have a better chance of not.
Maybe.
You know.
Maybe he's longer lived. Right. I don't know. But I still think there was a better connection in the 1981 version.
Yeah.
So
I do.
we got three
you guys,
across the board.
you guys make good points on that.
Yeah, I was actually bummed out that it wasn't like
I actually got confused
that this
as to who
Andromeda
the
wasn't
ladies
the love
were.
interest.
And
Yeah,
this
I know that the
Wait
2010 one was a little convoluted for me. I was I was really having a tough time keeping straight who
subplots and
exactly.
Hades,
And then you had this stupid thing with the lead singer of the spin doctors.
Oh, the
there.
zealots, the religious
that guy needed to die.
And nothing happened.
No, he got
crushed.
He got crushed, but they didn't even show it.
Yeah, I wanted that dude torn the fuck up.
He should have been a form that Hades took. Like Hades should have taken that.
He should have possessed him.
I like that.
To get the people worked up.
I would have liked that better.
And then he should have exploded at the end.
Yeah.
Because nothing beats it when the person explodes.
Exactly.
It's the greatest thing in the
Very
world.
Monty Python-esque.
Yeah. We have to say.
I approached this category.
the priest exploded.
I approached it very simplistically. This category. I want Io to be my girlfriend, so I'm just gonna pick. I pick Io because if I was gonna, pick
there's absolutely nothing wrong with Gemma Atherton anyway.
No,
she's gonna be my girlfriend.
Oh no.
I don't know. I think she's fun. I think she's strong. I think she's interesting.
Yeah.
Outside of their relationship, I think just as if I was gonna pick one, where Andromeda is just kind of this nice. I don't know. She's kind of sleepwalking through the movie. She
literally,
literally sleepwalking through the movie.
Yeah,
that's what the script told her to do.
A couple of moments of and I could see she's this grand beauty, and he's smitten with her, and he wants to help her. There's almost like this. I don't know if there's like a pity, as much as there is love within their relationship.
Yeah,
where he sees like, oh, nobody will be with her. No prince wants her, and everybody else dies when they try to, because they can't answer this. And she's this beautiful woman, and I almost feel bad for her. And I wonder if that's where the love initiates from, just that feeling of just like feeling sorry for her.
The cockiness of his
or
Perseus
or just
that we
Harry.
talked about.
That's just Harry, baby.
Everybody dies. Oh, all right, well, not me.
That's 81 Harry, baby.
But what's her name in 2010?
But I like Io a lot.
I noticed
I'm a
in
big fan of hers.
the first half of the movie, she would just kind of wander on camera, say some words, and then leave.
Yeah.
Well,
more fighting would happen.
Like,
exactly.
But then she would come back on again and say, "Nope, you got to do." She was kind of like the nagging wife when you're driving on a trip. Why don't you just stop or ask for directions?
Exactly. Why don't you take the next exit?
Yeah. Well, she has this like guide. I think it's, this is maybe one of the first times you kind of see this, that character that's like guiding you through the journey, but is usually like Gandalf and not Gemma Arterton.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some of that gets a little bit lost. Where
Gandalf
she's watching. She pops up every once in a while to help out. But really, like, she's just there to get you to
because
like a prairie dog.
Like at first, she's following them Like as they're driving off, they don't know. Like the other soldiers don't know that she's there.
Yeah.
She's kind of riding behind, and then it isn't until she joins the fight with the Scorpions that she becomes like a part of
the
troop.
Yeah. Next category, and I'll just quick story breakdown. 2010, Calibus, Acrisius. They are the same character and husband of Danae, Perseus' mother. Perseus' family is killed by Hades and he wants revenge. Hades wants to take control of Olympus. Danae dies in casket. Zeus releases Kraken because mankind insults the gods and wants to punish them. Whereas 81's version, Calibus is to marry Andromeda, but he is cursed by Zeus for being a prick, I guess.
He's the one who slaughtered all of his Pegasus.
Right,
left
right,
only
right.
one
He killed all
alive.
the Pegasus, right.
He was always in defiance of the gods. So
He's an asshole.
Left Pegasus Prime.
Guy's a real asshole.
Pegasus Prime.
Whereas Acrisius is Danae's father. She survives the casket mishap in the ocean and raises Perseus. Perseus is moved to Argos by Thetis as payback for Zeus. Thetis sets Kraken on Argos for Cassiopeia's comments about Andromeda being more beautiful than her. So those are
which was a freaky scene when you have the statue kind of coming to
life.
life.
And the face, that's very cool.
The head falls at everybody's feet.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool effect.
81 for me. Simpler story, not so many things cluttered
it's
like
not so
you had said,
convoluted.
Brian. There's a lot of other characters, and I feel like you could have actually spread these. I know they made a sequel, but I felt like there was room for sequels within what they were trying to push into this movie.
There
So
seemed to
was
be a
little
lot of stuff that they started in this movie that they didn't really finish and they didn't pick up with in the next one.
Right, yeah, the Hades, you had the Liefeld knockoff looking sand people or Tuscan Raiders, excuse me, whatever the hell they were that
the Djinn?
Anybody else play Skyrim? You played Skyrim, right?
No,
you never played Skyrim? There's a villain in Skyrim called the Draugr, which are basically undead. You know, they're kind of like corpses and skeletons, like more fleshy skeletons come to life, like almost like zombies. But their eyes are that cold blue fire, and it's kind of like
that
what these
Game of
things look
Thrones
like.
kind of thing going on.
A little bit,
with the
yeah.
walkers.
They had that chunky armor. And, yeah.
No, it's just it's I don't know. I just dug it more. That's me.
I like the 2010 story better. I am a huge fan of the Hades Zeus dynamic, like the whole rivalry between the two brothers, and it just being like a little bit of a love story, and the whole like, not Cassius. What's the guy's name?
Calibus.
Calibus and Andromeda connection. I like it better with her kind of. I mean, the only thing I don't like about that part of the story, about them changing up the story, is that we don't get enough of Andromeda in this one, because I am a huge fan of Alexa Davalos. I think she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I would have preferred her to be like the love interest for Perseus, so I kind of wish they had kept a little bit of that love story and not pushed the whole Io thing.
I think Gemma Atherton probably would have been better served as a god.
Yeah.
Or goddess
well, and she was very goddess-like.
Yes.
So, I mean, which I guess fits, because the whole idea was that she was cursed because Zeus was in love with her. So, I mean, that kind of, she looks like a god could be in love with her.
Right. That's what I mean. She should have been up there on Olympus with them instead of lurking in the trees.
Yeah, I really enjoy the fact that she never gets dirty. Like, seriously,
She's always clean.
Like everybody else is getting filthy, she's in the mix. She's in the mix. So
even when she's
she
dying,
has
no
this
blood
kind
on
of-
her.
she has this kind of borderline god-esque kind of way about her, having been cursed.
Well, because she's one of
right?
those in-betweeners, like he is. Like she's not a demigod, but she's otherworldly.
Yeah. So I just really like that she stayed completely clean the entire time. I thought that was a fun little thing. What about who's your better story?
Yeah, obviously
81?
81. Yeah, I said 2010 I thought was a little bit more convoluted.
You're convoluted.
You're confident.
Tito, you're wrong, but I'm marking you down. Okay. All right. Okay.
Got a Tito figure here, Brian.
I know.
Go.
Can I crush it like that guy?
I'll just fall asleep forever. He wants to put me to sleep forever, everyone.
Put him in front of a
Forever.
Put him in front of a TV screen showing alligator.
That's it.
They just pass right out. Watch my wax figure melt.
Gonna put the little figurine of Tito down in front of the TV watching Fast and the Furious 5, and then I'm gonna flip it around and you're suddenly watching Alligator. And he'll be like, what the fuck?
He'll explode.
What happened?
Next you
Where's
know,
Dominic
Mickey
Toretto?
shows up and there's cats everywhere.
Fast and Furious could use a little Robert Forster, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm going 2010. I like it. I don't know that it's for me. I don't know. The more I watch this movie, the less all over the place it seems to me. It seems a little
I was
more
thinking
like
that watching it tonight,
cohesive. I like the combining of Calibus and the king from the 81 to be the husband, because that story kind of works better for me. I like the fact that Denai doesn't survive and he's raised by like this normal family, quote unquote. And there's more. I don't know. It just seems like there's more at stake on the line in 2010 for him specifically. I like the revenge story more than I like the just kind of
the love story.
Yeah,
and
straightforward.
I don't want to say it's like it's cliche. That just very straightforward. I'm a damsel in distress. I am this larger than life figure. I save her. Everything kind of goes right for me.
Yeah.
There's anyone who matters to him is fine the entire time. There's the threat of Andromeda, but everybody else is just fine.
Right. Whereas
Burgess Meredith is fucking fine. He's fine. He's just fine.
He's fine.
He's fine.
It's all the Perseus.
He's fine. So I'm going 2010.
Nice.
All right, even Steven.
So I got a tie there. Better secondary characters.
81.
2010.
That Burgess, man.
That's making a lot of noise.
Yeah, but I might have to go with 2010.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I might have to go with 2010. I think that Perseus in 2010 had a better party as far as who he's fighting alongside with.
Yeah.
Well, they were funnier.
Well,
I'll give you
yeah.
that.
Well, and they had like more going on.
Yeah.
Like, they really didn't have
Bubo.
There was only one that
a lot less Bubo.
Yeah.
I liked Bubo.
He's doing a lot with the
Bubo was
little.
okay, but he
Bubo
got a
was
little
doing a lot with the
annoying.
little.
They-
Bubo
yeah,
That
was
was
a little.
adorable.
But they didn't have any lines except for the one guy in the 81 version.
Mhm.
Whereas
Yeah.
this one, like it actually feels like a team. And there's
Yeah, the only one that he talked to in 81 was the guy that with the
Right.
fly swatter.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
all you
those
need
are
to
really
talk
they're
to.
very few,
Which is
Yeah.
funny
characters.
because he's the guy that he meets when he goes when he
Exactly.
gets there and
Yeah.
then goes on to
And he's the one who he's Captain Exposition who
Yeah.
tells him all about like the princess in the tower and the blah 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 blah, and sets him off on his path.
right.
Yeah, you have like the same. I don't know. I'm going 2010. Also, I just feel like you have Laurence of Olivier. I did that on purpose. Laurence Olivier,
No, you didn't.
Maggie Smith,
Lawrence
and
of
the
Arabia.
Hera actress are the only guys that ever really say anything. Whereas even though like now it's surprising to see Luke Evans only have like 5 lines.
Yeah.
But at least back then I'm like, well, Apollo's getting some lines. Poseidon got a couple of lines. Hermes shows up. He's got a few lines. He's got a group of people where even like the Hound, who is a character and not in it for very long, it still makes enough of an impression
Yeah.
on you. Io, Mads Mikkelsen's character, there's just more development in those guys.
Yeah.
Which is strange to me in a shorter movie. It's
Right.
shorter than the 81 version, but
Well, and that's the-
with more developed characters.
That's because you had more characters that you had to talk about. There was less in the 81, so they could wrap things up quicker.
But they don't. The movie lasts
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
What? Oh, you mean this one?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
81
Oh.
movie is
81
longer than
is
the
longer than
2010
Oh,
movie.
sorry. Oh, I didn't realize.
Well, and that's what I was gonna.
That's
I
why
should have
I-
said
Never
this
mind.
when we were talking about better story. the better story. But I know your one of your big things, Brian, was
Yeah.
the 25 minutes that it took to get to the
Yeah.
beginning of the first one.
That was nitpicky because I
But-
know they were explaining other stuff.
Well, that's
But I was just
what I
like,
was gonna
oh,
say was
here's
that-
the very beginning of the 1981 version. And I'm like, it took them
But
25
I think
minutes
it's
to get to this
that
part.
25 minutes was them packing in like their story. Like
You're
the
right.
fact that
No.
this is different from the original. And,
Like it was just being
Yeah.
me being nitpicky. But yeah.
All right. Next category. Give you some backstory. Not really, but just some, a little extra tips. Better weapons. So 2010, he's got his sword. He's got the scorpion shield. 81, he's got a sword. He's got a shield. He's got the invisibility helmet. Do we consider Bubo to be a weapon?
yes,
I would say it's a gift from the
Yeah,
gods.
a gift
Yeah.
from the gods.
Because
I
what
don't know
was
if
it they
there's
were
anything
originally
else.
going to give him? But he wanted to give him an actual owl.
He wants to give,
and
him,
she wouldn't
Athena's-
she wouldn't give up her actual
yeah,
owl.
Athena was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to part with
Yeah.
him. So
Well,
she
yeah.
gave him to
Yeah.
whoever the guy.
Yep.
Piss off, Zeus. You're
Yep.
getting this toy.
Yeah.
And he's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Better weapons. I don't know. It's a tough one. They're both pretty cool, but I mean, you got to see them do a whole lot more with the 2010 one. I might have to go with 2010.
I am too. I even though I don't really like the look of the sword when it's full, like when it's out, like it kind of just looks like two pieces of metal just twisted together.
Yeah.
But I do like anything retractable, and I the
That's what she said.
and the scorpion shield is really cool. So I got to go with that.
Yeah, I'm going with 81 only on the fact of the invisibility helmet. That is a cool ass weapon.
Yeah.
Even though he misuses it and then loses it
in the
swamp.
Forever.
Forever. He didn't go back and get it. I think he was still gifted better weapons in the first one.
Yeah, I'm going 81 also. I don't like the sword either. I hate the look of the 2000. I just hate it.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it being retractable. I do, and I like that when anyone but him is holding it, it's just like,
Like a hilt.
dull.
It's a
and-
baton.
Yeah, just a hilt.
It's a track and field baton.
But I like the look of the 81 sword. It's got that great shine to it. I like the helmet. I like his shield. It seems to hold up better than the Scorpion's shield. They tell him it's stronger than metal.
Yeah.
But Calibus breaks it.
And
in
Zeus
half
can talk to
very
him
I was just
through
going
it.
to say, you can talk to
And
Zeus
Zeus
through
can
that.
speak
Yeah.
through the shield.
Yeah.
Also a cell phone.
Yep.
Yeah. And Bubo helps out. He gets the eyeball. So
That's true. I forgot you could talk. I'm changing my answer. I forgot you could. I forgot all about the shield, and you could talk to. That's actually pretty fucking
We're
awesome.
going 81.
Yeah,
It's
I
81.
have to pull a dick move and change my answer. Sorry, Derek.
No worries. Better Pegasus.
81.
81.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think 81. He spends more time with it, much to Derek's chagrin. In the 2010 movie, like I said, it's Pegasus Ex Machina. It
Yeah.
shows up right at the very end to bail him out
Yeah.
and get him to where the Kraken is attacking the city,
Yeah.
and that's all.
Right.
You know, and plus, there's a shitload of them. It's not the last one.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
But yeah, no, the new Pegasus showed up late. He was stuck in Pegasus traffic. You know, I'm
per
sorry,
usual.
the airways were crowded. A lot of planes, a lot of JetBlue backups. Even though
Spirit
airplanes
Airlines,
haven't
Spirit
been
Airlines
invented
is
yet.
out there.
Somehow that's a thing. Plus, again, those effects are awesome. The Harryhausen. Pegasus
Yeah, the
effects
stop
are
motion.
awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
Just amazing.
What about you, Derek?
I'm going 81 as well. Yeah, I think it's his best work, and I prefer the fact that it was him, like the only, he was the last Pegasus. He was Pegasus.
Yeah.
Pegasus Prime.
Yeah, Pegasus Prime.
You know?
All right.
Here's the last one.
I'm picking Pegasus too because he's in more of the movie. I think the effects is effects are really really cool. And
All right. Look
although
at this.
I do enjoy the scene where they're being chased by the harpies and it's like going in between galloping and flying at certain points if it hits the top of a building or something.
That was cool.
I really like that effect. But yeah, I like the Harryhausen a little bit better. Best fight scenes.
2010. I liked the sword fighting.
Yeah.
And a lot of it I really did. And it was a tough call because, there was more action. And that's what kept me invested in this movie.
Yeah.
I thought the action scenes were done very well. And, the sword play is awesome. I'm a sucker for a good sword fight. And then you had it in this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
2010 for me.
I honestly originally was going to say 81 because the Calibus fight, I thought the way that was filmed, like having something that was stop motion, but having and you could see that it was really
In the close-ups, it's an actual actor.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic. But overall, like upon rewatching it just now, I got to go with 2010 because there's a lot of action sequences and they're fun. There's a lot of good action in this movie, and the fights are definitely up there, especially like the Medusa. It's more. I think there was probably a lot more going on in this Medusa fight than there was in the other one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with 2010 as well. I like the Scorpion fight in this one.
Yeah.
In comparison, the original one is just so clunky.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something about the Ray Harryhausen effect. It's just, you can tell they're fighting stop motion.
Right.
You can tell, whereas it's easier to fake it with CGI.
Yeah.
You know that there's still nothing there that these guys are interacting with. It's all green screen.
Right.
Maybe there's a guy in a green suit that they're, physically wrestling with that's been erased, but it just looks more seamless.
Yeah.
And I think I have to give it to 2010.
I'm gonna I'm gonna clean sweep for 2010. I actually really enjoy in 81 the Cerberus fight a lot, him fighting the dog, and
I
that
keep forgetting about the Cerberus fight.
is I think really clean.
Yeah.
When he's fighting the dog, and when you see him stab the dog,
and one of the heads goes limp.
and it cuts in and out, and I think it's so clean.
Yeah.
The way the stop motion like goes back and forth, I think they did a really good job. But yeah, as far as like action is concerned, I mean, it just got better as time went on.
Yeah.
So
The
they're doing a
Medusa
little bit
fights
better.
were interesting because in the original, and they kind of started it out in the remake before it turned into a slugfest, basically. But in the original, it's got a cat and mouse kind of thing.
It really does.
She's
She's
slithering
hunting
around.
them.
She's got the rattler.
Yeah.
Whereas
which I missed in this one because I kept doing it while I'm watching this. That you can hear like the rattle at the end of her tail.
You got the laugh,
and I
it's like,
love that.
yeah,
and this one you're right. You just get the laugh.
But I mean, she is still sneaking around when
She
she's
does a
starting.
slight rattle.
She slithers
She
a little
tricks them-
bit.
She tricks them into turning around.
Yeah,
with her tail.
but she only does it once.
But it's also
Yeah.
in a lot of light.
Yeah.
And whereas in the 81,
It's so red.
dark and red.
Yeah.
I think
It's
if
red.
there was a fight scene that was better, and I probably on a whole I would pick the Medusa fight over the 2010.
If we were going individual
If we were
fights,
going
yes.
the original. I mean,
Yes.
2010 is great.
Yeah.
But I just the way it's filmed in the 81
Yeah.
version, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
More, just the look of it.
Yeah.
I,
But overall,
I think there were more people that she had already fought that were turned to stone too in the 1981.
Yeah, I
that
think you're
they're
right.
all like kind of maneuvering around like
Yeah.
they using them as things to hide behind as well.
Yeah.
If the two guys he goes in there with I cared about, I would like that scene more too.
in the
Yeah.
81 one,
Yes,
Yeah.
because it's
Right.
just two guys wearing helmets.
Yeah.
Any of those
Thing
two
one and thing
guys,
two.
right, from 2010, give them a little bit of character. Then I have something to care about. Because then they're just like,
The stakes are higher.
yeah. So
Yeah.
then it's just they're fun kills for her,
Right.
or
Right.
stone turnings or whatever.
Yeah.
They're fodder.
Yeah, which is it's a really fun scene. She looks awesome. I think the CGI looks great in 2010. I think
It does.
but that stop motion of her, I think, is just perfect. And the tail looks very thick and tough. And
Yeah.
and her face, I just think
She was uglier in 81 too.
Yeah.
She was
She was
more of
scarier.
a Gorgon.
If I was gonna
Right.
pick a scene, that I would probably do that. But I think the fight
You're right.
scenes
The
are probably
2010
in
one,
10.
Tito, she looked like that one from the commercial from last year.
Yeah, she was cute.
She's hot in that one.
Yeah.
too.
Until she turned people to stone. Then
Yeah.
she did the thing I hate,
Yeah.
the CGI stretchy
Yes.
face thing.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
like the
yeah,
Mummy.
which-
There was
like
a
a
lot of things
snake.
in this movie that reminded
Yeah.
me of Stephen Summers' Mummy.
Yeah.
You know, the
That's
stretchy
a
mouth,
moment.
and also his Van Helsing movie with all those bat things that came out of Hades' cloak.
Yeah. And they
I'm
did
like,
that. I don't like it. They did it in I Am Legend. It's
yeah,
just
I'm
it's
like,
just
no,
something
it's
I'm not
overkill.
into.
We don't have to fill every inch of screen with something moving.
Right.
Focus on the thing at hand. Focus on Perseus fighting the Kraken.
Because
That's what I
up
paid
until
my
that
$10
moment,
for.
that 2010 Medusa was good. That was pretty solid
Yeah.
CGI.
Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
the stretchy
This-
mouth thing.
Yeah.
And then it just kind
No,
of took me out of
I
it.
agree.
This all
I
leads
forgot
into
about
the
that
next
part.
category anyway, right?
Oh, does it?
Is
I'm
next
sorry.
category monsters?
Better monsters.
Better
Yes,
monsters.
it is.
Okay.
All right, let's
well,
talk. So, just a quick recap. Monsters that are in the same. The Stygian witches I consider monsters. The scorpions are. Medusa is. Calibus I would
Yep.
consider a monster.
Absolutely.
Things from 2010 that aren't in 81. The harpies and the djinn. And then in 81 you have Cerberus and you have the vulture.
Yeah.
That comes and sweeps her away.
Yeah.
What do we like?
Yeah. 81. I was a big fan of the 81, the Kraken in 81. I just
right, I
that's
didn't put the
nostalgic reasons. I mean, I just remember
Yeah.
seeing that as a kid and
I think it was a better Kraken in
being blown
81.
away. This thing looked like the Cloverfield fucking
It did.
creature.
Lots of tentacles and a tiny little head.
Leftover.
Once it finally
JJ.
does appear, I didn't like the look of the
Yeah.
head. I
It
didn't.
was like under a hood. Yeah. It's fun.
yeah.
It's like a
Yeah. He looked like
street
an,
kraken.
an uncircumcised Kraken.
Oh, hello.
And I already brought up Medusa. Medusa as well. So I mean, those are the two that win
Yeah.
overall. Everything in this movie just kind of looked the same after a while. Toward the end, I was like, oh, what monster's fighting what? Everything, there was no color. Everything was just
Monotone.
the same kind of color,
Yeah.
monotone. Again with the witches, they looked just too much thrown on them. I really like the witches in the 81 movie, just enough. They were just spooky enough for me, So 81 for me.
I'm going 2010 overall. I do agree with about the witches. I prefer the 81 witches, but I like pretty much everything else all the monsters in the 2010, the rest of them better. I already talked about Calibus. The Medusa, I loved, like, especially the way after she got beheaded and the body starts like convulsing and, you know, like a real snake, which is cool. And I love the laugh. Like I thought that was
I did too.
Super creepy. Like that would creep me the fuck out. You know, she's hunting you and she's laughing because
it's a game.
Yeah, exactly. I actually did like. I hate the Kraken in the original.
Really?
It's just it just looks like a Godzilla ripoff, like or something. It's
a big sea monster.
No, but like no, but when I think Kraken, I think tentacles. I think like monstrous sea beast, and that thing doesn't look like a sea beast. It looks like just like a creature from the Black Lagoon kind of look. Whereas this one, I mean, and
I know, me too.
I didn't necessarily like the head part of this one, but you had to give it like, because normally Krakens don't have faces. It's really just
an octopus-looking thing.
All you see is the tentacles. But
wouldn't that have been better then? Because I was kind of on board with new Kraken until seeing that.
I know,
fucking face.
But I understand why they gave him a face, because you
have to look in. He has to have eyes to look at Medusa.
Right. I just feel like you could have gone better.
It's that line in the Italian versus the Titan, Mark. Weren't you paying attention?
Yeah, it was.
And that's
I don't know why they couldn't have made it look a little bit more like Cthulhu.
No, but that's the other thing I like.
A little bit of that thing happening.
But I think that's probably the thing, is that it would look like Cthulhu.
Sorry, secret of the use.
That part of the head thing, making it kind of emerge finally and giving it like almost not a human form, but like a humanoid with arms and legs. Like that makes sense to me because it's a Titan, and the Titans are usually depicted as these like big monstrous
man-like things.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I prefer 2010 overall. I have a lot of respect for the designs of 81, and like I said, I mean, the whole movie is Harryhausen's best work in my eyes, and respect the hell out of it. But there were a lot more shortcomings in that one, design-wise, in my opinion.
Brian?
I'm going with 81. Yeah. I'm still going with 81.
All right.
We don't like
I like the face of the Kraken. I don't like the body of the Kraken in the original. I prefer the body. I like the head. I actually think the head looks cool.
The head of the Kraken.
I like it's got like the muzzle or whatever it has that kind of protrudes out like a beak.
It's almost
whatever.
like a beak. Yeah, like an octopus's beak.
I really like the I don't know why that's so funny.
Well, they have
an
beaks.
octopus's beak.
They
it
do
does.
have beaks.
It's just a funny way.
For the love of God, they have beaks.
But I like,
wrote a song. It's all
I
about
like
an
the
octopus's
Stygian
garden.
witches. I like the way they look.
Here on the refrigerator.
The paste over the eyes is like, I mean, that they did it because they had to. I like the Stygian witches better in this one.
Yeah.
I like Calibus's look. I always thought he looked cool in the 81 one with the afro and stuff. But
yeah,
I like Jason Fleming's version. I like the Scorpions better. That's another transition that I
did like the Scorpions.
I like the way the Scorpions look.
I'll give you that.
I brought that up. I did like the Scorpion
you
fight
did.
in the 2010.
So I would go 2010.
All right. Divided.
I did like that Kraken face.
I love that Kraken.
So we're going strictly, and I'll give some quick hints on this one. Better crew, comrades. So 2010, you have Io, you have Draco, you have Solon, Exus, Ozil, Kazak.
You got something stuck in your throat?
Yeah. The Jinn who has a name, Sheikh Suleiman.
His name was...
Which I really liked. And then Nicholas Holt out there. And then 81, it's really like Bubo, Amon, and Thallo, which is the guy that dies.
Yeah.
So, what do you like? Which crew? Which comrades?
We kind of did this though. Didn't
Yeah,
we?
Kind of, sort of. Well, secondary characters I meant like as a whole.
Yeah.
And I try to edge you guys to like the gods and other people, but nobody caught on.
Oh, see, I thought you just meant his posse.
No. That's why.
Well,
so I put better crew and then I wrote comrades to. But I don't think I sent you that note. I think I just made that note for myself.
Okay.
But I got it.
I got it.
So we're all 2010 then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you that one.
All right.
Although
I'll take it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They all sounded the same and looked the same. Whatever.
So I
We
did
look
this,
alike, we dress alike, we sound alike, we are alike.
I added this one while I was watching the movie. It's pretty straightforward. Better score. 81 is Lawrence Rosenthal. 2010 is Ramin Djawadi.
Ramin Djawadi.
Ramin Djawadi?
Yeah, he's done a lot of music lately. He did the
Game of
soundtrack for
Thrones
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Yep.
Did he really?
Yep.
Yep.
He did some Game of Thrones stuff, House of the Dragon, Pacific Rim, Warcraft, A Wrinkle in Time, The Eternals, Prison Break,
Yeah,
Jack Ryan,
he's hot
Medal
right
of
now.
Honor, Gears of War.
Like early Game of Thrones too, right?
Yeah, Game of Thrones had cranked up at this point too.
And then, honestly, this Lawrence Rosenthal, I looked him up. I don't know any of these fucking movies. Dark Odyssey, The Power of the Glory, The Miracle Worker, Requiem for a Heavyweight, Beckett, Brenner, Hotel Paradiso, to name a few.
I know some of the titles that you're saying,
Yeah,
but I don't know any of the music that goes with any of them. So,
But
as
just
far as
based
I'll
on
give it
the
to Ramin
score that
Djawadi.
you're-
Yeah, in these films.
Just on the score.
I'm giving it to Ramin.
81. No, whatever his name is. But it's just-
Rosenthal?
Thank
guy.
you. That guy.
Rosenthal.
He may not be a big name, but I think the score is a lot better. This music sounded just like a lot of background fighting noise throughout the majority of the movie.
What do you think over there, Derek?
I watching the 81, rewatching that last night, I actually thought to myself, wow, the music's really nice in this. But rewatching the new one, so I like the themes in this one better. Yeah.
So, it's funny that you mentioned earlier Fury Road, because this music sounds a lot like Fury Road. And though it's before Fury Road, I feel like it started something and Fury Road was like, no, this is how it's done.
Yeah.
And like nails it.
Like adding in like the electric guitar riffs.
Yeah,
like,
right. Like this, like it wanted to go there, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
So I watched 81 yesterday, and I absolutely love the music in that movie. So I'm gonna go 81. That had more of a heroic kind of
It did.
theme.
It was
and-
very classic.
Yeah, very classic, which I liked. Where this one was trying to do something, and it's almost there, and then they fucking nail it in Fury Road. So I gotta go 81. Okay, we're going better director. We got 2010. We got Louis Leterrier. Leterrier. He's French. The guy's fucking French. All those E's and R's are silent.
It's French for Louis the Terrier.
Louis Leterrier.
I called him Louis. Don't feel bad.
The Boston Leterrier.
Louis of Olivier.
Louis.
Louis of Olivier. Louis Olivier. He grew up like 3 houses down from me. Louis Olivier.
Yo, Louis, what the hell, man?
Notable works: Now You See Me, The Incredible Hulk, Transporter, Derek's movie, Unleashed,
yeah.
Transporter 1 and 2. Why did I write Transporter twice? The Dark Crystal series. He
Oh, wow,
directed
he did that?
Yeah. And just some of them. He's done some other stuff too. 1981, Desmond Davis. He did Time Lost and Time Remembered, Green Eyes, Ordeal by Innocence. I didn't know any of the fucking things he did. A lot of television movies, a lot of TV shows. He directed some episodes of The Avengers, the British series. Who's doing a better job in these movies, gentlemen?
I mean, who has a better resume, or just,
I would say who directed the better movie out of these two.
Who directed a better
why not?
movie? Yeah.
I would go with the guy who has no resume.
Yeah.
I
81.
would go with non-Louis.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are going 81?
Yeah, I'm going with 81.
I'm going Louis.
You're going
Louis.
History of the World.
It's a better paced movie in my eyes. I think he did a better job, and he had a lot of actors to wrangle and story to
And Pegasus.
yeah.
And the story to
I was
Pegasus
yawning a
ratio
lot.
was a little off. Huh?
The story of Pegasus ratio. Yeah. Honestly, his pedigree has a lot to do with why I'm picking. It makes me like the movie more because I like a lot of his other movies. I don't know why. The first time I saw this movie, I was like, well, that was stupid. And then I never want to see it ever again.
Right.
And now I actually think it's a really good movie.
Right. I felt the same way.
I don't know if it's like because now I know who everybody is, or I was paying better attention.
But is that the director, or because you have love of the actors more? So you got to think of these.
So,
things.
well, I mean, he's picking the right people, I suppose, right?
Lots of casting.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but if he doesn't like him, it
directors
doesn't
have
always.
say.
Not always. Actually, it's the money men. The money men have the
the
final
producers.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sam Worthington is in that movie because he's hot, but I think some of these smaller characters he's probably.
And don't forget, he's directing those actors.
Liam Cunningham.
He's
That's
pulling-
true. Yeah,
he's
he
pulling
is
the
direct-
performances
he
they're
is.
giving
So,
out of them.
Nobody directs Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson is directing himself.
He's directing, the movie.
I'll tell you how Zeus is supposed to sound.
I've got a particular set of skills.
Perseus.
That's pretty good, right?
I've been led to understand that tricks are exclusively for children. Is that correct?
Stop playing with that helmet.
I mean, they say tricks are for kids in the commercials, but aha. Now, is that enforced by law?
Oh, Clint. Good
Imagine
old
he had to
Clint.
rein that in. Louis had to rein it in. Louis the Terrier had to rein all that in.
Yeah, see,
Louis the
Liam,
Terrier.
stop talking about tricks. You're not in
Rein
Ted
it all
2 yet.
in. And I think he works. Now you see me. Dude, they need to make 12 of those movies.
I really dug the
fucking
first one.
Love them. I love the second one too. I think he works really well with like
Ensembles.
Yeah.
big cast, and that's what
Yeah.
he's got here, and he does a really good job.
Some
with it.
directors are like that, man. Some directors
he's
just know how to
just
juggle a big cast and
making
and-
it work.
and
Just
make
like
magic.
Michael Bay.
Yeah, just like Michael Bay. You know, he made Bad Boys. All the respect in the world
I
for that
forgot
guy.
about that, Tito.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's
not
it.
forgetting, too.
I'm with it. That movie's a fucking smash, man. I love Armageddon.
Don't want to close your
It's
eyes.
Armageddon.
Or my
That's
eyes.
that's a big ensemble.
gonna-
I'm going
It is.
Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Louis.
All right.
Oh, you suck, Louis.
Did you guys do better movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
I mean,
It's funny because I put
I canceled it out because I was like, that's basically what the whole episode is about, right? Which is the better movie.
No, I had given it to this anyway, but with 2010, I mean, after watching it again, I am amazed at how much I like it compared to what I thought I felt about this movie.
Yeah.
So I mean, rewatching it and now talking about it and defending it, a lot.
you kind of have to. now.
I do. I prefer. This movie's the better. one.
You're the Marco. This
Yeah.
is your hill you're going to die on.
It is. It is. Yeah.
I'm with Derek, man. I think this movie's better. It's weird. And I've seen the 81 Clash of the Titans 100 fucking times.
Yeah, same here.
I really have. I've seen it so many times. I didn't know there was a boob in it because I've only ever seen it on TBS or TNT. But
A
it was
boob?
always on TV when I
Two
was
sets of
growing
butts
up.
and a side boob.
Dude, when I was growing up, it was always on TBS or TNT,
Yeah.
and there wasn't a lot of
You
good
like that
fantasy.
side boob, Brian? You should. That's my
So
side
I watched
boob.
it, and I love that movie. I really do. But I watched this movie recently, and I was just like, "Man, this is good."
And it makes me now like I want to see Raph.
I do too, but
'Cause
I
I
feel
don't
like
think
it's
I
gonna
have. I
suck
know, probably.
Yeah.
because I went on
Yes.
IMDb and like nobody from the first one's in it besides
Ray
what's it,
Fiennes.
three-
Worthington.
Yeah,
We're worthless.
you know, they
Worthless
didn't,
Yeah.
get,
like a Mortal Kombat Annihilation thing.
they didn't get Gemma
Everybody's-
back. I think there's just like all different characters.
Yeah.
Not even any of the like Luke Evans is.
No.
We'll have to. I'll check it out.
I
just
would
to
too.
see.
I'm curious now.
I'm
but
curious to see it at least.
I'm going 2010. You gentlemen?
81.
81.
Yeah. That's what I'm
81.
thinking.
I've seen 81.
I forgot what the category is. I'm just shouting out 81 at this point.
I've seen the 1981 movie dozens of times and loved it. I saw this movie once, and I don't need to see it again. It was good, but I
Yeah.
don't need. I'm not going to go out of my way to see it again.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I haven't seen Clash of the Titans in so many years. The original. It was a movie I watched so much growing up.
Yeah.
It kind of fell off my rotation. It really did. I don't know that this one is necessarily 2010 is in my rotation, but I feel like if it was on, I'd probably be like, oh, and just stop on it and probably watch some of it.
Like a Hangover movie.
Yeah,
Maybe a Hangover.
Yeah, maybe a Hangover movie.
You know.
This is actually closer than I thought it was going to be quite honest with you guys. Categories where we tied, 10 categories where there was a tie where at least
No shit.
2 in each category.
Wow.
But 81 wins it 5-3
Ooh.
Wow.
by 2 more categories.
Damn. It's close.
Close.
81's
Close.
taking it by the skin of its teeth.
It's pretty hard to beat
That's,
the
you know
king.
what? It's
Yeah.
because the youth, we were able
we
to
go.
bend a little bit more. We gave
more
into 81.
flexibility.
Yeah, come on. I
Not my Clash of the Titans. That's all I heard out of Brian all night.
I did throw my hat into the 2010 ring a couple of times.
Very true.
So did I.
It wasn't all. I really thought I would be like,
Hashtag not my
I really
clash.
thought I would be going right down that party line and voting, 1981 all the way down, but no, I did not.
I was pleasantly surprised on a few when you were like, I was like, okay.
When you admitted.
When we were like
When I
best fight
admitted.
scenes, and he was like, all right, 2010. I was like, all right.
You got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
No,
Yeah.
but it was definitely it was
Except
a close
one. I changed my answer on one. And you guys talked me out of it. Talking Shield.
Mine was
Yeah, the
was
weapons.
heavy 2010. There were a couple of times where Brian changed my mind for sure. Where I was leaning 2010 and I liked what he was saying.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, that's why we do these.
Yeah, it's a close. 81 edges it out though.
Okay.
All right.
81 is
Clashes of the Titans.
the
is-
champ until we watch Wrath of Titans.
Mm-hmm. That should be the drink till it's good
Maybe.
sometime.
Maybe.
I think.
That's it. Nothing else to say. Good job, everybody. And another successful round. Another successful versus. I can't wait to do another one. These are really fun.
Yeah, they are fun.
What is making our geek flags fly? Wave, half mast, full mast, Monty mast. Don't be late for mass. I don't know. Like somebody stuff. Black mass. Thank you.
That was last year.
Yeah.
I'll go
You wanna
first.
start?
Yeah. So I'm all caught up now on Poker Face.
Oh right.
I finally.
What is that? Natasha Leone?
Natasha Leone. Yeah. Oh my God.
Is
it's
that on
such
Peacock?
It's on Peacock.
That's good.
Yeah.
I wanna see it.
They're doing one episode a week. They haven't dumped them all at once, so you
Okay.
can't binge it yet. Well, you can binge it up to episode 7. I think they're doing 10 episodes, so there should be 3 more.
And Ryan Johnson, right?
Ryan Johnson is the creator and the writer and the director of most of them, at least in the beginning. But they are so good. They are so freaking good. She's a scream in this thing. Premise of the show is she knows when people are lying. She's got this innate ability to know when people are lying. And starts off, she's in Vegas working in this small casino for...
was it Adrian?
Adrian Brody. Adrian
Brody?
Brody. And it's actually his father's casino, and he comes up with this scheme to screw over a high roller. And he wants to use Natasha Leone because he knows that she can tell when people are lying. He's like, I'll get you in the poker game. You'll be able to know when he's bluffing. We'll take him for everything he's got because he never spends any fucking money in my casino. He just comes in and everything's comped and he's taking all my money and he's doing these side games in other casinos and blah, blah, blah. So we're going to take him. And it goes south because
it backfires.
Because Natasha finds out what else has happened. Like, I think, I'm not going to give too much away, but there's a murder that he's involved in that she finds out about, somebody that she was close to. So now she's like, all right, this guy's a prick. I'm not going to do what he's telling me to. Yeah. And it all goes south, and she ends up on the run. And when she goes from town to town, she's trying to get to wherever she's trying to get to. It's never really specified. But in each town, she stumbles upon, like, a murder. Like, her car breaks down. She pulls into a garage. The night before somebody got killed, she ends up solving the murder. Somebody compared this to, like, Columbo, because it's almost like... just one more question kind of thing, And she always does that because she can tell when people are lying. So she's trying to like prod them into these.
She does that very well.
And she
most
really
things,
does.
Like,
but the other thing too is there's always like a big guest star in each episode. So like I guess Columbo did that too, which I don't know because I didn't watch Columbo. I'm old,
like...
Tito, but I didn't watch Columbo.
I can see there's a lot of people in this show for one episode.
Yeah. It's fantastic. I encourage all of you to check it out.
I saw
on the Peacock. What's that?
I saw Columbo.
You saw Columbo?
Yeah. Took down half the cast of Star Trek, man.
Did you really?
They all had a cameo.
Nice.
Not a cameo. They all guest starred.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm watching this week.
Cool. Tito?
I started listening to Sound Mind. I'm like 7-ish episodes in, part of 7.
Is this the one that Derek was talking about?
Yeah, the
last
Harley
week?
Quinn Joker.
Nice.
So you're almost to the end then. Yeah.
Is it 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got half of 7 and then 8. Really, really good. Really fun. I really like this Harley. It's funny because I read White Knight recently, and it's very that similar kind of her approach to Gotham and Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne kind of sucks.
Yeah.
In this,
right?
And the last 2 things I read, I was just like, oh, Batman blows. And I know there are a bunch of people in it, and it was only today I'm listening to the ventriloquist talking, and I'm like, holy shit, that's Andre Royo, who was
Joanna Man.
Oh no! No, you're thinking of Miguel Nunez. Andre Arroyo played Bubbles in The Wire. I don't know if you ever watched The Wire.
No,
he played Bubs in The Wire.
You've been telling me to watch that. Yeah.
And the Joker sounds like Martin Short to me. And I thought Martin Short would be an awesome Joker.
Yes, he would.
If he did it. Because the
Like
guy's basically doing like a scaled down Jiminy Glick, it feels like.
Right.
And all I could hear is Martin Short. And I think he's really good. The guy who's doing Joker, I think he's really, really good. And I like the dynamic and the kind of, it's turned on its head. It's really fun. It's really, really fun. Not a lot of action. It's more dialogue driven. But it's all really, really great.
Yeah.
And the episodes are super short.
I'm glad you like. I had a feeling you'd like it.
20-minute episodes. I love it.
After you said you had read The White Knight, I had a feeling you would really enjoy
As soon as it started going, I was like, oh fuck, this is very in line with that story, kind of, but fun. Yeah, it's very good.
Nice.
I too am listening to Harley Quinn Joker Sound Mind. I fucking love it, and I loved it right from the start. Batman Unburied is awesome, but it took me a little bit to get into it. This one, right off the bat, no pun intended. I agree with everything. Yeah, Bruce. I love this portrayal of Bruce Wayne. He's kind of an idiot in this one, and I like the Joker. Very true about Martin Short. I didn't think of it, but now I'll picture it.
Now I'm hearing it.
I love these podcasts are introducing other villains. They're paying more to the whole Scarface thing is fantastic.
Yeah,
the stuff with Harley and her dad, just an awesome Harley Quinn origin. Unlike any I've seen, and I'm on episode 7 now, I believe, as well, or it might have been 6. It's Joker. I don't want to give anything away, but anyway, it is definitely worth a listen to.
Yeah.
The other thing I saw after, unfortunately, watching Skinamarink.
I am so sorry that you watched
No,
that.
I
Don't be sorry. You warned him.
You warned him. I deserved it.
You deserved everything you got.
Everybody warned me, and I stepped up to the challenge. And boy, were you all right, man.
You know, when I was saying that, it wasn't a challenge. It really was a warning.
It was a challenge
stay away.
to stay awake. It was a challenge.
No, it was a warning to stay away.
It was garbage, but I needed a good movie after that, and I actually found one on YouTube called "There Are Monsters," which is a 2010 found footage movie, which it's excellent. It is really creepy. It's an invasion movie of people who aren't people anymore. They look like people on the outside, but they're not. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely really dug this movie. Our friend of the show, Dean, loves found footage films, but he has a problem when people keep the camera going when you would not. That's his only thing with found footage films. In any situation, you would have the camera out of focus,
right.
You'd run away. And this movie does that. It's a realistic found footage kind of film. But what they do with the people and some of the monster effects that they have are actually excellent. So they're a guilty pleasure of mine. If you're a fan of found footage movies, look it up. Yeah. It was there was a short film done first called "There Are Monsters," and then they made a feature film, which was I think out of Canada. Like I don't think it was around here. It took a while. I had heard about it for a long time, but could not find it anywhere. Mm-hmm. And then it popped up on YouTube.
They made a show called Keeping Canada Alive, so you're probably right about the Canada thing.
There you go. That movie did it. So those are my two things. And don't see Skinamarink. No, see it. If because you just know how not to make a movie. Yeah. If you want to know whether it's good to make a movie or not, don't make Skinamarink because it's just shots of
just
fucking
because
ceilings.
You have a camera doesn't mean you should use that camera.
Just because you can watch Skinamarink doesn't mean you should watch Skinamarink.
No, see it. It's horrible. I'll be the catalyst. See it. By then I'm giving it more power. But in the future, I would like my horror films to be made by filmmakers
and watchable.
Yeah, and watchable, like Flight of Dragons.
Talking about the movie, all it does is make it live on longer.
Yeah,
that's
like
right.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
Totally, and that's what I'm going to do.
We should all just turn our backs to it. And it'll eventually go away.
Because I'm an evil son of a bitch.
Not Mark. He's just going to keep talking about it.
Rawhead Rex was much better.
I watched that Kunk on Earth, and it was
that Kunk.
It is such a weird thing to say. I know. I love it.
Isn't it funny?
It is very funny, and I guess she's done a bunch of other ones.
She has, and they're not on Netflix.
They're not?
No,
Because I
I've
thought
looked.
that. Oh, because I
Believe me, because after watching it, I'm like, I got to find more of this.
Yeah,
and I looked on IMDb.
because there's Conk on
like
UK,
England,
on the UK.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
she did like 3 or 4 like other mini mockumentaries.
She's very funny, and I'm sure that there's got to be a way to find those.
I'm
Like,
sure
we'll-
if it gets popular enough on Netflix, maybe they'll import the rest of them.
But yeah, she was very funny.
Yeah. For now, this one will have to do it because it's really good.
But another big thing is that I saw the Flash. Obviously, a lot of people saw the Flash trailer.
Yep.
And it looks fantastic.
Overall, the Flash trailer looks good, though.
Yeah, the Flash trailer does look awesome.
I like the idea of Zod, and like it looks like it's not
You've
Superman
got-
fighting Zod; it's Supergirl.
You've got 2 Batmen. You've got Affleck and Keaton.
Yep.
You got the blue and gray.
I almost
Yes,
got
did you
the
see
cycle,
that?
right?
Well, there's a scene where they show a guy where you can see his spine, and I was thinking of the Superman from New 52 that misses Smallville altogether. And
Oh, the Flashpoint.
Yeah,
Superman,
they lock him
where-
away, and
yeah.
so he's just like this frail.
I think
That's
that's
what I think is what
the
it is.
version of Supergirl, and they I think they go and they bust her out.
Oh, it's a woman. Then.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
that
they're
makes
taking
sense.
the Flashpoint Superman and just.
Yeah, I mean, like they're
That's cool.
'cause
It's
it is.
its own universe, baby. I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
Yeah.
She
I
looks
was thinking
great.
It was cool. There was a scene with the Bat Cycle, and it looked very similar to the
yeah,
one
yeah.
in the Christian Bale ones too. And I was like, oh, are we getting Christian Bale too?
Oh, Jesus.
But I don't think that's gonna.
That's
happen.
what I was thinking too when I saw that, because that's like what's the second one called? Dark Knight.
Yeah.
When
The Dark Knight cycle.
the motorcycle comes out of the tumbler.
I say I don't want to see it, but if everybody shows up, I'll lose my shit. And I'll just be a total hypocrite and be like, oh, all the Batmans are together. So I'm not going to fucking groan.
It's like 3 Spider-Man last year. Now we got 3 Batman.
Yeah. Well, at least they're starting to pay attention.
And I love the suits. The bat suits that
Yeah.
they show.
Suits look
Like,
great.
There's
We
one
just
for
say the-
underwater, and
yeah,
there's
the-
one
the
for
blue
like-
and gray.
Yeah,
Oh, the
we
blue
just-
and
Oh,
gray,
yeah,
man, that was cool.
There's one that looks
Yeah.
like a year one, kind of like thrown together.
Mm-hmm.
but
And
yeah.
then there's Keaton when he said,
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
My family cheered, and they don't know shit about the Flash. But
And he
they
does
all
the
saw
grin,
the
too.
Yeah, but they
money.
know a hell of a lot about Batman.
They sure do. But then they show more of him doing something other than
Yeah.
just coming out and saying.
No,
Yeah.
the whole
Batman.
thing where he swoops up
Oh, yeah.
and then
Yeah.
comes
We
down.
try
like,
not
that
to
was
die.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh God.
It's awesome. The suit looks
Yeah.
awesome. It
It
looks
does.
pretty authentic,
Yeah.
but still also very new looking.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Barry's ring coming out of the suits coming out of his
Yes.
ring.
Oh,
it
I
looks
was
like,
happy
which
to
is
see
cool.
that. Yep.
Yep.
The Flash in the Snyder Cut is fucking awesome. I
Yeah.
absolutely loved what they did with the Flash in that movie.
He was much better in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm indifferent either way. If we get a new Flash, fine. I know Ezra's creepy and shit off screen, but I'm glad they're still making this movie. I'm
Well, and-
sure people want to see it for Keaton, if nothing else, but I want to see this thing be a nice send off to what we've had, and I want to jump into the future of what DC's going to bring to us. So I'm glad it's
I don't know if it was an Onion headline or something else, but it said Michael Keaton returning as Batman in the new Flash movie almost makes people forget that Ezra Miller kidnapped people.
It does. It totally does. But I mean, there's pleasing nostalgia, and then there's just filling the dream of every Batman, almost every Batman fan, I think, of Michael Keaton coming back. For those who wanted Michael Keaton back, always, you know, there's a huge fan base for that.
I want to see Clooney.
You know, you want to see Clooney come
I hope
back,
Clooney's
nipples
in
and
it.
all.
Whatever.
All right.
Show up on the screen. I don't care. Buy something with your credit card and then
He just shows up.
take off.
It's a reference of a Batman. credit card.
Pay for Michael Keaton's gas with your Batman credit card, and then fucking disappear hit the road.
Why not? Well, great episode, guys. Good job. So, if you want to go back to episodes when we talk about liking movies based on trailers and usually end up hating them later on, and then you can go back to old episodes and then bring it up to us like
When
many
has
people do.
that
Hey,
ever
remember when you
happened?
liked that? Remember when you thought DC was going to be awesome, Mark? You piece of shit. Where can they go?
They can go to hell. No, they can. They can go to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.3gdpodcast.com. And as Mark said, you'll be able to find all of our past episodes there, along with one-click buttons where you'll be able to easily subscribe to us. If you're not already a subscriber, just smash one of those little buttons to the podcast platform of your choice, and you will never miss an exciting upcoming episode. Also, our email link is there. If you want to drop us a line, please feel free to do so. And there are places where you can rate and review the show. Also, we have a Ko-fi page if you would like to make a donation. Any amount given will be greatly appreciated and will help to keep the show going. And I think that's pretty much it. So, as always, thank you for listening.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you, everyone out there. Until next time when we have another fantasy movie for Fantasy February. Hopefully I'll be able to say it better. I am Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tito.
This is Three Geeky Dads saying keep watching the skies to distract you from me releasing my Kraken.
Wow. I thought that was going to be a Pegasus joke.
That's just what you expect me to do.
It took a weird turn.
Yep.
But a fun one.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Good
That's
job,
what I
Phil.
do.
Good
Now-
job.
Now go watch Skinnamarink.
Phil McCracken.
You start us off.
Do I start us off?
Wait, mythical creatures or mythology movies?
I thought we were doing mythological creatures.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing mythology.
Yeah,
You know what?
mythical
I did
mythology
too,
movies.
Which is fine. I
right?
got one right in my
Shit,
head that
all
I
right.
got off the hip
Yeah.
that I
I-
absolutely love. And
So
I was
are we-
actually
all right,
thinking,
so are
Hold
we
on,
doing-
hold on.
no,
Hold
do
on.
mythological creatures I
Yeah.
would prefer.
Because there's not that many mythology movies.
I
That was-
thought we
No,
did
there's a ton.
mythology movies
There's a ton.
already.
Yeah.
After, and then I thought we did that already.
Wow.
I could be
All right.
mistaken, but I got one right in my head.
Welcome to three.
Ready to go.
All right,
Just
then
in
Brian,
case.
Confused, Dad.
Just
cut out when I interjected, and we'll just do.
Do you want me to do that last sentence
no,
again, and
no.
we'll go in from there? Yeah, why
Yeah,
don't we do that?
do that. Do
There's
that
too
again.
much talking over, and I think it might be tough to cut that out.
Okay.
All right. So, after watching both films, we got to thinking that it might be fun to talk about some of our other favorite mythical creatures.
Why don't I start?
Yeah, you start, Mark.
We settled on that one already.
I'm gonna need time to think.
All right. Well, kids, as you may or may not know from the years of listening to me, I am a huge fan of the werewolf.
First, hailing from the greatest year in the 80s to be born, direct from the House of Harryhausen, starring in no particular order, Gustav Gray's Toby Smith from Die Hard. I'm going to start that over again.
Okay.
All the way from the beginning?
Yeah.
All
No.
right.
Just
Okay.
I'll just do from the first.
Okay.
Because I was going to make a joke about how Maggie Smith. I didn't know this until I was looking up all the casts and stuff to write this. But did you know that she's the mother of Gustav Graves from Die Another Day?
No.
No.
I don't even know who Gustav Graves
I
is.
don't know.
The
that
bad guy from Die
James
Another Day.
Bond?
See, I didn't see
The
it.
one who changes his face.
I don't watch James Bond.
I know, I'm not a big fan.
All right, whatever.
Sorry,
I
man.
wish
I'll
I
leave
did.
that one out then.
I know you're a fan, and I
just-
like that you're a fan.
Yeah.
All right.
I never. Not enough titties.
Speaking of titties, Maggie Smith.
Sweeping the floor at the same time.
Oh, Jesus.
A couple of dust bunnies.
Sweeping all these categories.
Oh,
Titties.
Hold on.
I don't know.
You don't have to know.
we're gonna get
You
it.
just said it.
Another big thing is that I saw the Flash. Obviously, a lot of people saw
We
the Flash
did.
trailer.
Yep.
And it looks fantastic. But it leads me into a minor rant.
You know what really grinds my gears?
And I will preface this by saying the views and opinions of Derek are not those included of all the Geeky Dads.
Okay.
And do not represent the show.
Yeah, no shit,
Time this,
Sherlock.
and I'm going to time this.
It's brief. It's
Yeah.
brief.
It's brief. You got it written out.
Oh yeah, because I
Oh
don't.
my God.
Because I'm an idiot who shouldn't talk without properly putting things out there. Say, I can't even fucking get this sentence out.
Get comfortable.
All right.
On with it. Yes, get over there.
So Kevin Feige says Kamala Khan is the real breakout star of the Marvels. So it's nice to know Brie isn't the star of her own movie. That makes my heart happy, especially after the overload of Brie Larson I had to endure watching the Super Bowl this year, between the commercial with John Hamm and the trailer for the new Fast X that she's in. But also, apparently, the Brie Larson army of idiots
You and what
are accusing them of ripping off Captain Marvel because of the Flash trailer's Supergirl and her name being Carol Danvers versus Carol Danvers. Newsflash, folks, Kara Zor-El Danvers first appeared in Action Comics 252 back in May of 1959, almost 10 years before Carol Danvers appeared in Marvel Superheroes number 13 in March 1968. And she didn't even start as a Miss Marvel until 1977. She was just an Air Force officer and colleague of the Kree's Marvel. So pipe down. Boston's own Sasha Calle isn't copying anything. She's playing the original model, and she's just doing Captain Marvel's copycat act better than Brie.
Whoa.
That's it.
Snap.
That's all I had. And, you know,
Mic drop.
So.
Okay.
Kara.
It wasn't even really towards Brie. It was more
No.
towards the idiots that love her so much that they'll, you know.
So it's nice to know Brie isn't the star of her own movie. That makes my heart happy.
That they don't know what they're fucking talking about.
It's Wingardium Leviosa, not Leviosa. Right? That's what I was thinking. That one always got me too. I was like, damn, what a fucking total ripoff. Carol Danvers, that's it. That's all. You're gonna add an L to her name. Yeah.
Yep. So there you have
Okay.
it. That's all. I'm just.
All right. Well, okay, fair enough.
You hate
Good.
so you hate Brie Larson and anybody who loves her.
No.
Is
I
basically-
hate Brie Larson. But
That makes my heart happy.
I just
Our
think that
families.
and, like people out there, if you're gonna
honestly, I didn't
argue-
even know that I saw the Fast trailer. I didn't
Yeah.
even see her in it, and I
She's
must
in
have
it
gotten
brief.
up to take a leak during that commercial because I didn't see any Brie Larson during the Super Bowl at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at all.
Yeah, there was a commercial where her and John
Hamm in a refrigerator. I've heard about it. I still haven't
Pete
seen
Davidson opens it up.
Yeah.
and-
Did you hear the one about John Hamm of a refrigerator and Brie Larson? I don't have a punchline for it.
That was like a fart.
Another thing that grinds my gears is when I can't find the droids I'm looking for.